Thank you. Thank you. A'udhu billahi minash shaitani rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Wa sallallahu ala nabiyil kareem. Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in wa ba'd. Your Excellency, the Governor of Katsina State, Madam Diko Umaroda, PhD, CON, the Right Honorable Speaker, Katsina State House of Assembly, Honorable Nasiru Yahya Dawara, the Secretary to the Government of Katsina State, our distinguished special guest speaker to this memorable occasion, in person of a Sheikh, Professor Ali Ibrahim Pantami, the former Honorable Minister for Communication and Digital Economy, the Head of Service, the representative of the Grand Cadi, the representative of the Honorable Chairman of All People's Progressive Congress, members of the State Executive Council here present, Chairman and Chief Executive Officers of various departments and agencies, heads of security agencies here present, chairmen of various local governments here present, distinguished participants to this colloquium, the young professionals in Katsina State, organizers of this event, members of the press, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon, good morning, and assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today, being the 23rd of September 2024, Katsina State clocks 37 years after creation. It is on this note, Katsina State government, under the able leadership of His Excellency, the Governor of Katsina State, decided to commemorate this day by two occasions that will mark the 37-year anniversary. One of it is the colloquium organized by young professionals, where we will have our distinguished professor in person of Sheikh Ali Ibrahim Pantami, and the second segment of this celebrations is going to be a dinner which will be hosted by no other person but the leader of the state, His Excellency Madam Diko Umaroda, PhD, CON, the Executive Governor of Katsina State. Your Excellencies, permit me, for want of time, to quickly invite another scholar who will lead us in the opening prayer. Akramakallah, tafaddat.
صلوا على النبي الكريم. muna roƙon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wannan taro ubangiji Allah sanya mashi albarka baƙinmu da suka zo daga nesa da na kusa, ubangiji Allah sa a yi taro lafiya, a ƙarishe lafiya, su koma gida kuma lafiya. Allah ya ƙara ma wannan ƙasa tamu ta Katsina albarka da kuma ƙasarmu ta Najeriya baki ɗaya. Allah ya ƙara kawo mana zaman lafiya, Allah ya ƙara kawo mana zaman lafiya, Allah ya yi mu shugabanninmu jagoranci, ya aza su kan abin da yake daidai. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد وبارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت وباركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. نون والقلم وما يسطرون. ما أنت بنعمة ربك بمجنون. وإن لك لأجرا غير ممنون وإنك لعلى خلق عظيم. فستبصر ويبصرون بأيكم المفتون. إن ربك هو أعلم بمن ضل عن سبيله وهو أعلم بالمهتدين. فلا تطع المكذبين ودوا لو تدهن فيدهنون. ولا تطع كل حلاف مهين هماز مشاء بنميم مناع للخير معتد أثيم عتل بعد ذلك زنيم. أن كان ذا مال وبنين إذا تتلى عليه آياتنا قال أساطير الأولين. سنسمه على الخرطوم. صدق الله العظيم.
الله أكبر. مفهوم؟ Professor, good morning. Your Excellency, the Governor of Katsina State, our distinguished guest speaker, other distinguished personalities, at this juncture, let me invite the consultant and the organizer of this event, in person of Associate Professor Ahmed Adamu, one of the young professionals in Katsina State, to give us an overview of the colloquium.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Katsina State. All protocols duly observed. Our special guest today, Professor Ali Ibrahim Pantami. Thank you so much for coming. Today, Katsina State marks 37 years since its creation. And today, Your Excellency, there are more than 400 young professionals that, with your approval, with your permission, they are here together in this venue so that they can connect and learn from the wealth of experience and knowledge from our special guest here, Professor Ali Ibrahim Pantami. Today, young people, with the permission of His Excellency, the Governor of Katsina State, Malam Dikko Umar Radda, you are here so that you can connect with an erudite, intellectual, intelligent, and versatile scholar, which is a rare opportunity. Out of 1,111 applicants, you are selected to be here so that you can tap from the wealth of his experience. I want to thank the Executive Governor of Katsina State for giving us, we the young people, this opportunity. This colloquium provides opportunity for young people to be inspired, to also learn some practical skills and advice so that you can put it directly in your life. Because all of you, you come from different spheres of life, you have different professions, and the experience, the lessons of Pantami's life is worth emulating. There are a lot of lessons we can learn. That's why he is here today, so that we can get inspired. He's also here so that we can learn the importance of personal skills. Personal skills that will enable you to compete globally, to also expose yourself to global opportunities. So today, we have two parts of event. We have the first event, which is a formal event, where His Excellency will also speak. And our special guest, Professor Ali Ibrahim Pantami, will also speak. And after that, we're going to take some pictures with the dignitaries. And after that, we are going to break and then resume for the interactive session. Opportunity for you to ask questions directly to the professor. Any question you have regarding your profession, personal development, career development, you can ask. So this is a very good opportunity for you to be here. And I want to congratulate you for being here. And I want you to also join me in thanking the Executive Governor of Katsina State for approving this event. So I want you to give him a very loud round of applause, because the Executive Governor of Katsina State, Malam Dikko Umar Radda, anything that is about youth, he's there for the youth. Anything that is for the young people, he approves it. That's why he developed so many initiatives, like the Katsina State Enterprise Development Agency. He also brought so many young people in his cabinet because he believes and trusts the young people. And that is why for the first time, we are having this kind of professional event under the sponsorship of Katsina State government. So Your Excellency, we'd like to thank you so much for all what you've been doing for the young people and for Katsina State at large. Thank you so much for everything. And I want you to also join me in thanking our professor, our Sheikh, for making it here. Despite his tight schedule, several calls, and we have to beg him to be here. And it's a very rare opportunity for you to have this kind of opportunity to interact with him. So join me in thanking him for making it in Katsina today. Please clap for our professor. Thank you so much. We'll come back for the interactive session after His Excellency's speech, and then we break for the first session, and then we go to the second part of today. Thank you so much. See you later.
Well done. Please can we give him another round of applause? He is one of the professionals, the young professionals, and he is up and doing to see that the youth are uplifted to the core. That's why they put together this event, as you have heard from him, that is going to be an interactive session after the opening ceremony. So at this juncture, I would like to invite His Excellency, the Secretary to the Government of Katsina State, Abdullahi Garba Paskari, to give us the welcome address. Join me to welcome His Excellency Abdullahi Garba Paskari.
أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. His Excellency the Governor of Katsina State, Madam Duko Umaru Rada, our special guest of honor, in person of Professor Ali Ibrahim Pantami, CON, former minister, the Right Honorable Speaker of Katsina State House of Assembly, the head of service, honorable commissioners and special advisors here present, permanent secretary, heads of extra ministerial departments, all other top government functionaries here present, the professional youth who are participants for this all-important program, all other invited guests, members of the press and security. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Like it has been mentioned, today is an important day in the history of Katsina State. Today being the 23rd of September 2024, Katsina State as a state is exactly 37 years old. Now, it is the tradition in the life of individual or entities to commemorate important days. And this day, as it has been mentioned, His Excellency the Governor of Katsina State decided to commemorate it with two important events. The first one, it is the one we are witnessing now. That is the Youth Professional Colloquiums. And the second leg is to take place in the night, where His Excellency is expected to award some of our dedicated civil servants for their contribution to the development of the state. Now, for this important event, I want us to take the opportunity, the very rare opportunity presented by this event. Now, it has been mentioned that His Excellency has concern for the youth. This is not out of nothing, but for the fact that these youths are the elders of tomorrow. And unless they get proper guidance and mentorship, so as for us to have the leaders that we envisage. So that is why we have professionals, youth from different fields of human endeavor. Because like it has been mentioned, in the journey of an individual or an entity, there has to be a juncture for reflection, to consider what had been done, to consider what is being done, then to project on what is to be done, so that at the end of the day, we will have a state where all of us will be proud to call our state. Now, the essence is for evaluation and assessment, to consider our gains and to improve on those gains, and to evaluate our shortcomings or wrongs so as to amend for the future. And today we have a very rare opportunity. Our distinguished guest speaker, who is expected to be at the center of this colloquium, is a person of international standard, a scholar of high repute, of which some of us had the opportunity only to see him on the screen of TV. But today, we have the honor and the privilege of having him live and direct. So permit me, Your Excellency, with this short remark, to welcome particularly our special guest of honor in person of Professor Ali Pantami. It has been very eventful since from yesterday when he arrived. When he arrived at the airport, before we were able to take him to the vehicle, it was a Herculean task. People were rushing to express, they were happy to see him, to express their happiness and to take selfies and pictures. When we arrived at the hotel, it was the same story. We had to force them to allow Malam to settle and have the evening prayer. And even when we came to the mosque for the evening prayer, people were waiting outside the mosque to meet him. So you see, I think the organizers and His Excellency, they have made a very good choice for this event. And we want for this to express our appreciation and gratitude to the guest, our special guest, and equally to His Excellency. But then we shouldn't forget to express our gratitude to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for making it happen. So we are grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for all what is happening. And I will see this opportunity to welcome all of us to this important event. And I learned that so many people expressed intention to be with us, but they could not. For those of us who are fortunate to be here, we should take the advantage. The elders used to say that whenever you meet a scholar, don't allow yourself to part without learning one or two things from such a scholar. Now that he is here and you are here, so this event is not only for you, for those of us who are here, but it's equally important for those of us who were not of fortune or who are not of fortune to be with us, because it is going to be recorded and the message is going to reach far and near. So with these short remarks, Your Excellency, sir, permit me to welcome our special guests and all those who are in this hall and all those who in one way or the other contributed to the success of the event. Professor, you are most welcome. So let me stop here because the time is so short and there are a lot of things lined up to be done. I thank you most sincerely for the opportunity to have the welcome and address. Thank you.
Thank you. That has been the welcome address by the Secretary to the Government of Katsina State, His Excellency Abdullahi Garba Faskari. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is now an honor for me to invite our distinguished special guest of honor, our distinguished guest speaker, our distinguished Sheikh, Malam Professor Ali Pantami. But before I invite him to the stage, may I request Fadila Idris to give us the citations of Malam before we take him up. Fadila.
Permit me to stand on the already observed protocols. My name is Fadila Idris, and I'm thrilled to stand to talk about excellence, to speak about greatness. And today, greatness is not just a topic of conversation, but it is embodied in a person standing before us, sitting before us, A Malam, a Hafiz, a professor, a digital transformation guru, a passionate advocate for education and community development, a leader, a mentor, a role model, a beacon of hope to the future generations. Alasam Wanyilafia. He is by name Professor Ali Ibrahim Pantami. Where do I even begin? He is heavily present in the realms of technology and academia. His bio is like a superhero origin story. Born in Gombe State, Nigeria, he risen to become a global promoter of social, soft, and technical skills. With a PhD from Harvard, yes, that Harvard, and certification from MIT and Oxford, he's a true champion of digital transformation. But wait, there's more. He's a policy maker, regulator, a farmer, yes, farmer, scholar, consultant, and academic. Professor Pantami's impact is as vast as the ocean. He served as Nigeria's Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, championing 23 national policies and making ICT contributions soar to 18.44%. Talk about game changer. And let's not forget about his accolades. Over 220 awards locally and internationally, including the Award of Excellence in the Governance and the National Honor of the Commander of the Order of Niger, CON. He's also a fellow of several esteemed organizations, that of FCIIS, FNCS, FBCS, among others. Wow, this is what it means to be a believer. As a scholar, Professor Ali Ibrahim Pantami has published numerous books, notable among those is that of skills rather than just degree, and several referred journalist articles. He has attended over 190 conferences and workshops, sharing his wisdom and insight with the world. He is a conflict of resolution expert with national and international experiences, and his achievements in service delivered, research, policy, information, and has been commended by many leaders globally. Professor Pantami's legacy continues to inspire and empower future generations. He's a beacon of hope, a shining example of what can be achieved through hard work, dedication, and a passion for learning. He impacts on the world of technology and academia will be left with the felt centuries to come. A lasting legacy that will continue to motivate others to strive for excellence. In addition to his many accomplishments, Professor Ali Ibrahim Pantami is also devoted family man, happily married with children. His commitment to his family and his community is a testament to his character, conduct, and values. Mafhum? Tayyib. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. That is Fadila Idris, Isa Idris, for these encomiums, the accolades credited to Malam Sheikh, Professor Isa Ali Pantami. Please join me to welcome him to the stage. Professor.
Assalamu alaikum. His Excellency, my brother, the Governor of Katsina State, Malang Diko Umar Ratta, CON PhD, Speaker, Katsina State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Nasiru Yahaya, members of the State Executive Council here present, starting with the Secretary to the State Government, Alhaji Abdullahi Garba Faskari, commissioners here present, head of our service of Katsina State here with us, special advisors to the governor here present, senior government officials here present, our young professionals, ladies and gentlemen of the press, all other protocols duly and respectfully observed. Good morning to all of you, and assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, meaning may Allah's peace, mercy, and blessings be upon you all. Permit me to begin by thanking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the opportunity to be part and parcel of the 37th anniversary for Katsina State. However, historically, 37 is only the creation of Katsina as a state in Nigeria. But Katsina as a town has officially been created 913 years ago. And archaeological evidences have shown the human presence in Katsina for over 4,000 years ago. Meaning that for over 4,000 years ago, people lived in Katsina as a town. So this 37 is only the creation of Katsina as a state. But if you go far, then we can also celebrate the creation of Katsina as a town 913 years ago. And also the presence of human being in Katsina as a town over 4,000 years ago. In addition, permit me once again to appreciate and commend the effort of my brother, His Excellency the Governor, for organizing this event and also for extending an invitation, inviting us to come and celebrate together. The success of Malang Dikko is always my success. And my success is also his success. We have been together with him closely for the last 29 years, since we met as undergraduates in university, even though he was my senior colleague. He was in the Faculty of Agric and I was in Science. But we spent our time, most probably we spent around 3 years together on campus. Since then, we maintain a cordial relationship. While I was the DG of NIDA in 2016 to 2019, he was also my neighbor, or let me say, I was his neighbor as the DG of Smedan. So I used to visit him and he used to visit me in office. Particularly when there was so much pressure on him, he would just come in and spend a moment with me, the same with me. When he was elected as the governor of Katsina State, to the time he assumed duty, I have been following all his activities. Whenever I speak with him on phone and I commend some of his initiatives, he will say, and the same way, if you see my mistakes, please draw my attention. I say, you don't need to solicit for that. When I see, I will undoubtedly call and draw your attention. I commend his initiatives. The first call I made to him when he became the governor, it was most probably after a month, even though we met physically on the 29th of May 2023. We met physically on his first day in office. However, I intentionally failed to call him for 1 month, monitoring his initiatives. For my first call to him is to commend the policies he initiated in Katsina State within that period of time. My brother Umar Dikorada, we are proud of you. We pray to Allah to continue to guide you and make you very successful in whatever you do. We are also very proud of Katsina State. Definitely, my history will not be complete without mentioning Katsina State. Beside my parents and my teachers, 3 people that are highly influential in my career, all of them are from Katsina State. This is a story of another event, not here. The topic of our discussion today, as earlier mentioned, is enhancing personal skills for global career opportunities. This topic is very apt and is very relevant to all of us. And what I intend to present here will significantly be an elderly advice to our younger ones. Anyone that is older than you with at least 10 years is your elder. So by implication, I can say anyone here below the age of 42 years, I'm definitely his elder. So by implication, I intend to share our real life experience with you. Unfortunately, most of our younger ones are not interested in any way to tell them the afflictions and calamities of life, particularly at the initial stage of your career. They are only interested in hearing the success story. They just want to be successful without suffering. Unfortunately, this is absolutely difficult. In some situations, it's impossible. Any person that you see is successful in life, don't be intimidated by the success. You need to study his struggle before he attains that success. And it is indeed very important. A common adage says, the word of elders are the words of wisdom. We are where we are today because we listened to the advice of our elders. And if you do the same, definitely sky is going to be your limit. But you must agree that you must work for success before you attain it. There is no doubt about this. Furthermore, why do I say the theme or the topic is very important? Enhancing personal skills for a global career or for global career opportunities. If you look at our challenges in Nigeria, there is no way you can navigate them without your personal skills, without enhancing your personal skills, which include your soft skills, your social skills, and even your technical skills. Some of the challenges we have in Nigeria, number one, unemployment. Today, we live in an era where a graduate, a first-class graduate of electrical engineering or computer engineering is struggling to get employed. We still have the challenge of unemployability, where a graduate of first class cannot demonstrate the skills of his field. When you employ him, you need to teach him even how to do the work. Some graduate with first class or second-class upper are even struggling to come up with their personal CV. So this is another challenge of our unemployability, challenge of poverty. According to the recent statistics, 88.4%, or rather 88.4 million people in Nigeria are living in extreme poverty. 88.4%. By implication, you can say around 45% of our people are living in abject and extreme poverty in Nigeria. And there is no doubt most of them are in the northern part of the country. When we are confronted with these challenges, including that of insecurity, what we need to do is to think out of the box. We need to come out of our comfort zone and see how we can navigate in life. As it was earlier mentioned here, that I have been agitating and advocating for skills. That agitation is only to compel us to think out of the box. That is the agenda. And also to remind us that today, acquiring a paper certificate, either diploma, HND, degree, MSc, or PhD, is not enough. It is important. Your certificate is important. However, it is not enough. Because the challenges of Nigeria today are not the same with the challenges of Nigeria 20-something years ago. We graduated from university, and I left the university. I only received a phone call from one of our teachers and mentors in our university, a very respected personality, also from Katsina State, by name Professor Awal Marsum Bindawa. He only called me on phone and said to me, Malam, and I answered him, Malam as well. He said, you are requested to come back to ATBU for documentation. And I said to him, for what? He said, you have been employed. I said, sir, but I did not apply. He said, we applied for you. And I said to him, sir, is it a directive or an advice? And he asked for clarification. I said, if it is a directive, you are my elders, I have no objection. However, if it is an advice and I have an objection, then he said it is a directive. In less than 48 hours, I left Gombe for Bauchi to ATBU for documentation. Today, the situation is not the same. And this is within less than 30 years. Only last year, one of our fathers from Katsina State visited me at home in Abuja, Alhaji Abu Gidado. One of the pioneer graduates of Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria, in 1965, he honored me by visiting me at home. And I had a very fruitful discussion with him because I always try to learn from our elders. He told me that when he graduated from university, he had many opportunities waiting for them. Some of them were employed, were given that commitment of employment even before their graduation. He served as the Commissioner of Finance in the then Kaduna State. He was a Minister of Finance in Nigeria. He was also the MD of Arewa Textile. He was also the Deputy Managing Director of Peugeot, among many others. But you will discover that all these opportunities without any application. Today, the situation is not the same. That is why it is necessary for us to get ready to leave our comfort zone in order to be successful in life. In addition, it is being said that the largest investment you can make is the investment you make in yourself. What you invest in yourself, educationally and otherwise, is the best investment you can make ever. Furthermore, we must also admit that we cannot change our yesterday, but we can make an adjustment and change our today. And by implication, we cannot change our beginning, but we can change our ending. There is no way I can change my yesterday, but definitely I can navigate today and change my ending. And this is indeed very important. Why global career opportunities? Many young professionals and young graduates in Nigeria, particularly in northern part of Nigeria, they restrict their opportunities in life to only two. One, state employment. Two, federal government employment. Applying even for any opportunity in the private sector is not in their dictionary, and they are not interested. Furthermore, global opportunities, global career opportunities, what is called international employment or cross-border employment, these things are not in their dictionary. When you speak to them, even applying in the private sector, they will say there is no security, job security there. Unfortunately, it's not true. Because it is only in government you can get employed and do as you wish. And nobody will query you. You maintain your job. The good, the bad, and the ugly, all of them can maintain their jobs in government. Why? Because of lack of discipline today. In the private sector, without performance, there is no way you will be successful. International employment, without personal development, without personal skills, you cannot go anywhere. So most of us restrict their opportunities only to their state and the federal employment, while unfortunately, these two are less than 5% of the opportunities we have globally. For example, according to the World Economic Forum, the largest and the most influential economic forum globally, artificial intelligence by next year, which is one of the technologies of the fourth industrial revolution, by next year, 2025, artificial intelligence could create 95 million new jobs globally. Not in Nigeria, 95 million new jobs. This is only AI, not blockchain, not cybersecurity, not Internet of Things, not nanotechnology, not biotechnology, not virtual reality, not augmented reality, not robotic technology, not cloud computing, not augmented reality, not only AI. By next year, there is high level of probability that 95 million jobs are going to be created. In addition, 83 jobs are going to be lost if care is not taken by AI. Not AI in itself. People who master AI will take over the jobs of another 83 million people globally. This is to show to us why personal skills and personal development are necessary. Because the requirements of executing our jobs, the actual requirements are changing year in, year out. The skills you need to be successful today, some of them 10 years ago, they were not documented. But today, without them, you cannot be successful in your career. But 10 years, they were not documented. So the requirement for you to be successful, these requirements are changing year in, year out. It is because of this, I intend to advise our young professionals on 3 important skills. Number 1 is life skills, what we call social skills, or interpersonal skills, or emotional intelligence skills. These personal skills are skills that are supposed to be like inbuilt, like inherent in you. I will speak on only 3 examples. Number 1 is empathy and an emotional intelligence. Empathy and emotional intelligence. What is empathy? Empathy is one of the most important skills of the 4th Industrial Revolution. According to the World Economic Forum, today people need empathy more than even the technical skills they need to do their jobs. And a minimum of 3/4 of global jobs today need an aspect of empathy and emotional intelligence. Empathy in your career is important. It's all about sharing the feelings of others. These feelings could be positive feelings and could be negative ones. Positive feelings like happiness, like excitement, among others. When you want to be successful in your career, try to make sure that you share empathy and emotional intelligence with people that you work together. You work in an office, one of you is absent. Reach out to him and make an inquiry why he is not in the office. And not in the form of investigating, but trying to show that you care so much about him and about his health condition. That is why you are calling him. Ibrahim, I couldn't see you today in the office. I hope you are doing well. No, I have been sick. Subhanallah. Show your empathy to him. So empathy is important for the employees and also for the employers. And in fact, even within our colleagues, we need to show empathy. And the same with emotional intelligence. When it comes to empathy, including negative feelings like sadness, like fear, like anxiety, they are part of the negative feelings. So when you work in a team, make sure you share happiness and sadness with all the members of your team, whether as a superior officer or even a junior officer. Whoever you interact with, even your driver, you have to show this empathy to him. It is not about doing the job. Show to him that you care so much about his life and also about his health condition. In addition, the same with emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is your ability to understand the emotions in you and the emotions in others. Meaning that you have to be self-aware and also to regulate yourself. Self-awareness and self-regulation. Many people fail because they fail to control their emotion. They don't know where to speak, when to speak, and how to speak. They allow their emotions to control them. Unfortunately, they always take action and regret at the end. Don't allow yourself to be controlled by your emotions. Firstly, you must have self-awareness. You should know your strengths and your weaknesses. You should know the nature of your anger. If you are angry, you should realize before anybody realizes it. This is indeed very important. When to talk and how to talk. So emotional intelligence is very important indeed. Self-awareness and self-regulation. And if you don't have good emotional intelligence, sometimes you will discover that people that are unjust, people that are the actual oppressors, they behave like they are the oppressed. So if you don't have excellent emotional intelligence, people that are supposed to be defensive, they will try to be offensive. It is only with an excellent emotional intelligence you will not allow their emotions to mislead you. So that is why self-awareness and self-regulation is important. When we interact with others, we are human beings. We have our strengths and we have our weaknesses. Let us know how to manage our weaknesses in interaction, in public speaking, in our activities. Even if someone provokes you, try to manage yourself very well. If he provokes you and you become angry and you react badly, he is successful. But if you manage your emotion, he provokes you, you maintain your emotion intelligently, and you reply him wisely, then you have defeated him. So emotional intelligence is also very important. Both of them go together, empathy and emotional intelligence. And they are among the most important personal skills for you to be successful in your career. Number 2, optimism. We should always try to be optimistic in life. No matter how difficult life is, irrespective of the challenges you are being confronted with, try to remain very optimistic. Be an optimist. Without optimism, Nelson Mandela wouldn't have been successful in South Africa, where he fought that apartheid. Without optimism, there is no way he could achieve that. Without optimism, Barack Obama wouldn't have been the president of the United States of America. Somebody that his history originated from Kenya. Without optimism, we will not be here addressing my brother Malang Duko Umar Radda. When he intended to resign from Smedan to contest the governorship election here in Katsina State, more than 90% of friends and brothers disagreed with him. So without optimism, he wouldn't have been the governor of Katsina State today. You have to be very optimistic in life. Try to be an optimist. And this is even what religion teaches. Delete the word impossible from your dictionary. Even the word impossible, when you rearrange the letters, it means I am possible. If you want to build your optimism, firstly, be more interested in your success story than the challenges and failures in your life. Be more interested in your success story, the way you navigated to be where you are today. Secondly, improve in reading inspiring stories, inspiring books. Number 3, make sure you are mentored by those who are optimists in life. Number 4, consider failure to be the foundation of your success. Don't allow the word failure to be an opposite of success, but rather failure is the foundation of building your successful career. Many people tried and failed uncountable number of times, and at the end, they make it in life. There are so many examples where people failed once, failed twice, failed 3 times, failed 4 times. On the 5th occasion, they make it. Jack Ma, who happened to be the richest man in China with a population of 1.4 billion people, he applied to Harvard University, he said, 10 times, and he was rejected 10 times. But he remains very optimistic. And in the end, he was successful. So optimism in life is important. Don't allow people that are pessimistic to mislead you. Because they show that they are wise, they are clever. Unfortunately, they don't change anything. Without optimism, you cannot go anywhere. Take, for example, the story of Elon Musk, who happened to be the richest person today globally. When he came up with the idea of space exploration, even his parents were not comfortable. They took him to hospital. Because they allege he was not mentally sound. But today he achieved it. Not only space exploration. Today, he sent people to the space and they communicate on real time. Even last week it happened. And look at the Starlink we are also enjoying here in Nigeria. Our landmass of 923,000 square kilometers has been covered by Starlink. I brought them in December 2022. Nigeria happens to be the first country to attract Starlink in Africa. Without optimism, he will not be where he is today. Look at electric car, the idea of inventing an electric car. When he came up with the idea, it was rejected. But today, in so many countries, there are more electric cars than even the petrol cars or diesel cars. So optimism is important. As long as Allah has not said this is impossible, delete that impossible in your dictionary. Remain very optimistic. As long as somebody can do it, make sure you are the second person to do. And this is indeed very important. And we should learn how to accommodate failure. Be very comfortable with failure when we try once or twice. In the United Arab Emirates, they annually organize a conference to teach their citizens how to accommodate and be comfortable with failure when you are trying. In Silicon Valley in the US, they organize an annual conference entitled as Fail Con. Fail often. Meaning failure conference, to teach people how to accommodate and be comfortable with failure and continue to try until they are successful. And this is indeed very important. So optimism is a very important personal skill that we should try to acquire. In life, we should be very optimistic. No matter how difficult life is, let us keep on pushing, keep on trying, putting more pressure, praying to the Almighty to intervene divinely and make us very successful. This is indeed very important. Furthermore, number 3 important social skills is communications skills. Both verbal communications or non-verbal. They are all important. The way you communicate with others is even more important than the CV you submit while applying for jobs. Today, people respect you in person the way they know you, the way you interact, rather than what has been documented in your CV. Unfortunately, today, most of our young people are lacking communication skills. If you go through their social media accounts, unfortunately, you will discover that they can hardly be successful with that attitude in life. We live in an era where nobody is above destructive criticism, not constructive, destructive criticism. You will see a young person at the age of 18 criticizing somebody at the age of 88 or 80 years. Somebody that is even older than his grandfather, insulting, blackmailing him, partaking in character assassination, unfortunately. 40 years ago in northern Nigeria, you cannot look at the eyes of a friend to your elder brother and insult him. Even a friend to your elder brother, you cannot be allowed. Your parents will deal with you. A friend to your elder brother, he will look at your eyes and make a statement, and you must remain silent, even if you disagree with him. A friend to your immediate elder brother is automatically your elder brother. Unfortunately, due to the lack of communication skills, most of our younger ones, they don't even know how to greet elderly people. Even how to greet their leaders. They don't even know how to greet them. So if you look at even the way to approach someone, win his heart, communicate to him effectively, unfortunately, they are missing. So social skills or personal skills are very important when it comes to communication and interaction. Try to know, try to learn. The more you confront somebody, the more you win his heart automatically. This is very important. Without learning how to respect elders, how to respect your leaders, how to interact with your seniors, it's difficult for you to be successful in life. Many institutions globally today, before, if you apply for a job, before they read your CV, they will go through your social media handles and follow all your postings and your communications. Somebody went for an interview. He was telling me directly. When he went there, the first thing they did, they presented a tweet to him in which he tweeted against the organization that he was attending an interview to get employed. So even before answering any question, he started by apologizing to them. Whatever we are writing, it is being documented for or against us. Undoubtedly. People that you are insulting today, sentimentally, by next year you could be before them, seeking for their help. We agree and disagree, but we have to do that with courtesy. People that are older than you, you can disagree with them. But even criticism requires courtesy. You forget all their good virtues. You forget all their virtues in life. You only look at their fault. Most probably before you discover one fault, they have over 50 virtues, over 50 achievements. But you close your eyes, you only look at one fault. And in some situations, it's not even a fault. It is only your imagination. If you want to control and build your communication skills also, avoid reacting to one-side story. Any story that is one-sided, remain silent until you hear the second part of the story. That is why in justice, fair hearing is not just optional, but is a necessity. Whenever someone is being criticized, don't take decision, don't take side until you hear from him. So fair hearing is part of what we call retributive justice. So retributive justice is all about fair hearing and equality before the law. But today we don't care, we don't investigate. Whatever is said, we believe so much, and we continue to propagate and broadcast it. When we hear the second part of the story, then some of us that are responsible and reasonable enough will start apologizing and changing their position wisely. Some will still maintain the same earlier position they took. Communication skills is key. Even if you disagree with people, you should know that criticism requires courtesy. People that are older than you, people that are more educated than you, people that are more successful than you, people that are your leaders. In whatever you do, we must agree that criticism requires courtesy. And our criticism must always be after hearing both sides of the story. Furthermore, we must also make sure that we do it wisely, not only to criticize, but to offer solution on how to resolve an issue. So these skills are very important under interpersonal skills. Empathy and emotional intelligence. Number 2, optimism. Number 3, communication skills, both verbal and non-verbal. They are all important. Before I move to the second one, let me give you an example, another very important story. What happened with Henry Ford? Henry Ford is the founder of Ford car in the US. Among the richest people globally. There was an opening in his company. Many engineers applied. Many. And he invited only 2 of them from the same university, graduates of the same university, the same faculty, the same department, and the same class of degree. Both of them were invited for an interview. When they arrived, he took them for a dinner in the evening. When they went for the dinner, he asked them to order whatever they wished. After the dinner, he looked at the first guy and said to him, "Congratulations, you are employed." He looked at the second guy and said, "Thank you for honoring our invitation. We won't be proceeding with you." Without any formal interview. The guy that was rejected was flabbergasted. He looked at him and said, "What happened? We are all engineers. No interview, no question about car design, nothing. You employed my friend and you rejected me?" He was more interested in knowing why this guy was employed, why he was rejected. Hereford said because of two reasons. Reason number one, when a steak was brought before us, beef, before tasting the meat, you added salt on it. While your brother tried the steak, after trying the steak, then he added certain ingredients on it. He said you failed in this regard because you lack critical thinking. He said we didn't employ you because we need people that can try the status quo and identify its strengths and weaknesses and see where they can make adjustment. We don't want to employ people that are eager to change the status quo without studying it effectively. This is the first reason. And he said the second reason, and also the most important reason, he said your friend, while interacting with the waiters in the restaurant, he was very kind, gentle, and humble to all of them. In your own regard, whatever they brought to him, he was saying thank you, appreciating them. In your own regard, you were only kind and humble to me as your potential employer, not the waiter serving you in the restaurant. He said, it means you are respecting hierarchy, not human beings. We want to employ people that respect human beings, not hierarchy. This tells you social skills is we should respect people irrespective of their social status. The one you undermine today, by tomorrow you could be before him seeking for his help. So whenever you interact with people, don't consider their status or their hierarchy. Interact with them responsibly and gently. Even if you don't have anything to offer, at least respect them as human beings. And this is indeed very important. This takes me to the second skill, that is soft skills. Soft skills are non-technical skills, or what we call they are your cognitive abilities. There are many of them, and even today, in the contemporary era, soft skills are more important in your career than even the technical skills. The technical skills, these soft skills are even more important to make you more successful. Number one, complex problem solving. Whether you have a degree, HND, OND, MSc, or PhD, whether you have it or not, you must excel in complex problem solving. Whether as a technical person, or as an administrator, or as a finance officer, wherever you find yourself, you must excel in complex problem solving. And this is one of the most important soft skills, non-technical skills, that can make you very successful in life. There are so many examples. Telephone was invented in the 19th century by Alexander Bell. Without complex problem-solving skills, he wouldn't have invented a telephone. Today, all the integration and advancement, the technological advancement we are having with smartphones are being built on his invention of the first telephone for communications in the 18th century. Sorry, in the 19th century, that is the second industrial revolution. Without complex problem solving, airplane wouldn't have been invented by Wright brothers. So it's all about complex problem solving. These people invented these technologies over 200 years ago, some of them without attending any formal education. And this is another important point. We are grateful to the Almighty. We attended formal schools. My humble self and my brother, the governor, we attended formal schools, and we are very proud of that. We obtained our degree, MSc, MBA, PhD, and we attended the best institutions in the world. I was in Harvard, I was in Oxford, I was in Cambridge, I was in MIT, I was in MID. I attended all these institutions. However, I always say it, that in this contemporary era, certificate alone is not enough. After acquiring the certificate, we have to identify its strengths, leverage on them, identify the weaknesses, and see how we can navigate, or at least how we can rehabilitate the weaknesses of our system of education. But unfortunately, most of our graduates today, they don't think out of the box. They graduate from school, they write their CV, they will spend 4 or 5 years roaming about with their CV. As long as they are not employed, they don't partake in any job. While we have abundant opportunities to be an entrepreneur, to be a businessman, to be even an employer, but unfortunately, we don't make use of our brains effectively. Most of us here today, more than 99.9% of their brains and their hearts are empty. They are empty space. If you can memorize all the books in Katsina State, believe me, you will discover that more than 95% of your brain is still empty. These smartphones, most of them you will discover that their capacity is around 500 plus. Maximum is 1 terabyte. Maximum. But you can continue to save documents for a year, 2 or 3. And this 1 terabyte most probably can accommodate all the libraries you have in Katsina. If you convert the books to a soft copy, it can be accommodated. This is only half of a terabyte. But at the capacity of a human brain, minimum capacity is 2.5 million terabytes. 2.5 million. While this is less than 1 terabyte. Unfortunately, we don't utilize our brains. When we go to school, we graduate, that is the end of it. We must learn how to solve complex problems. If you solve a complex problem, most probably that will provide an opportunity for you more than somebody with a PhD in computer science like my humble self. It's all about solving complex problems. Take, for example, Jeffrey Bezos, the founder of Amazon. He started solving complex problems of this e-commerce platform where he intended to bring potential buyers to interact with potential sellers. Through their interaction, he will be able to get a profit. He came up with the idea in 1994. Up to 2003, 9 years, he couldn't get a profit of $1. But he was optimistic and at the same time consistent. He made his first profit in 2004. By 2017, he became the richest person globally, with a population in the whole world of around 8 billion people at that time. He couldn't leverage only on his certificate, but rather he came up with an idea of complex problem solving, where he brings potential buyers and potential sellers to interact with one another. Through their interaction, he makes profit. Today, averagely, you will discover that Amazon is facilitating a business transaction of around 16 billion US dollars every day. 16 billion. And you will discover that averagely 1.6 million packages are being dispatched globally. Packages, not orders. Because in one package you will discover 10 things are ordered. He became the richest person. He doesn't have a shop to sell any commodity. He doesn't manufacture any commodity. He only provided a platform where potential buyers and potential sellers interact. And from their interaction and from their business, he makes profits. And this is what makes him to be the richest person for 4 consecutive years. This is about complex problem solving. So we should not restrict our career to only the certificate we acquire. Certificate is important, should be the foundation, but unfortunately today is not enough. Because challenges are many. The requirement for you to be successful in your career are changing by the day. They are not static. What we were taught in university, even in technical skills, today are not applicable. While in university, we were being taught Fortran, Pascal, basic programming language, COBOL, but today you are talking about Python and others. So if you remain static, you will discover even technically you could expire. When the governor graduated from Agri-Economics Department, in agriculture, the environment then was not the same with today. Today we are talking about digital agriculture or smart agriculture. We are talking about halal economy, for example. So the situation is not the same. We must continue to build our personal skills. For you to be successful, you should be a learner throughout your life. And it is indeed very important. So complex problem solving is number 1, soft skills. Then number 2, critical thinking. Critical thinking is another soft skill that will make you very successful in your career. And it has an algorithm that you need to follow in order to be successful in critical thinking. There are many examples of successful critical thinkers globally in technology. We have so many of them. Take, for example, like Elon Musk is another example of a critical thinker. Steve Jobs is another example of a critical thinker. When they invented smartphone, they came up with an innovative idea in its design. And that is why you will discover that smartphone of Apple and Samsung, both of them have been very successful for many years. 20 years ago, 15 years ago, the most prominent smartphone in our hands were Nokia, Ericsson, and others. Where are they today? Most of them disappear. But today we are only talking about Apple and Samsung. And to a certain level, who are we? Why? Because they are critical thinkers. Through their innovation, and they partake in exploration rather than exploitation. Nokia was more into exploitation. When they were successful, they went to sleep. Before they woke up, Apple and Samsung overtook them. Why? Because it was exploitation, but today it's exploration. Exploration is about critical thinking. You provide what your customers need before they realize they need it. If you have a smartphone, you will discover that more than 90% of its applications in its store are unutilized by us. Why? Because they partake in critical thinking. They provide what you need even before you realize that you need or you want it. So critical thinking is important. Today, we have so many challenges in northern Nigeria. You can partake in critical thinking and solve the problems. insecurity in the Northwest, banditry, kidnapping. The responsibility is not only on security experts. Even some problems require multifaceted approach. You can sit down and think critically and come up with a solution that your state or the country can learn from. It's all about critical thinking. In agriculture, if you discover what government provides as an intervention and subsidy and the actual output, you will discover even if we are making profit, is definitely insignificant. Partake in critical thinking, come up with a solution that will enhance our productivity in agriculture. If you can take away all the subsidies of federal government, state government, and many more, you will discover that we are making insignificant profit in agriculture. The Netherlands, as a country, with a land mass of around 40,000 square kilometers, 6 states in Nigeria, each and every one of them is larger than the Netherlands. Niger, Borno, Taraba, Kaduna, Bauchi, and Yobe. Each and every one of them is more than 40,000 square kilometers. But the Netherlands, through smart agriculture, what they are generating today is by far more than what we generate from oil and gas. And the population is relatively the same with either that of Lagos or Kano. In 2017 to 2018, what the Netherlands generated through agriculture is more than 10 times what Nigeria generated through oil and gas. More than 10 times. Why? Through digital agriculture. So it's about critical thinking. We have so many opportunities in that sector, but unfortunately, we don't partake in critical agriculture. In the developed countries, people are more interested in becoming entrepreneurs. They are more interested in becoming potential employers. But in northern Nigeria, we are more interested in becoming potential employees, either with the state government or with the federal government. Try to build your personal skills to the extent that people can hire your mind, not your time. They can hire your mind, not just your time. We work for government. I gave you one example. I left my comfort zone and for Saudi Arabia. I served in Nigeria, starting from programmer, graduate assistant, lecturer, graduate assistant lecturer, lecturer 2, lecturer 1. I left for Saudi as a senior ranking officer in academia. And I was there when I was directed to return to Nigeria to serve as the DG. So I left my comfort zone. When I arrived at the Islamic University of Medina, based on their record, I was the first ever Nigerian to be employed by the university as an academic. The first ever. So in life, is not only about following your comfort zone. Make sure that you are flexible. Wherever you see an opportunity, you can switch there and you can also be successful. Let us not narrow our opportunities only to what is within the state or federal. There are more and more opportunities out there. Number 3 soft skills is thinking out of the box. Thinking out of the box is another important skill, irrespective of your area of expertise. Thinking out of the box, or what we call creative thinking. We have security challenges in the Northwest, most probably for almost 20 years today. If the situation continues, we need to think out of the box, not to continue repeating the same strategy, the same approach, while the problem is deteriorating. Thinking out of the box requires all of us as citizens to help our communities, our states, and our country partake in thinking out of the box, provide solutions, even unsolicitedly, to your leaders on how to navigate. Most of our people in power most of them, not all, they don't even have time to think for themselves. They need people with capacity around them to always advise them, even if they are better than you intellectually. Because of that burden of responsibility, they don't have sufficient time to think for themselves. But you have ample time. You can think and come up with a solution. That is why thinking out of the box is critical. If we have a problem, we try to resolve it through this approach and it fails, leave your comfort zone. Look for another solution. There is no single problem in the world that has only one solution. Each and every problem has multiple solutions. And some solutions are better than others. So thinking out of the box is important. For example, as a graduate, you graduated from university. You are either unemployed or underemployed. Instead of continue to think in that regard, think out of the box. Build your personal capacity, build your skills personally. There are many opportunities in Europe, many opportunities in the Middle East, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, UAE, many other countries. You only need to acquire certain certifications. You will get employed. You have an idea, build your startup. That startup could become a very successful investment. Another example of Birian, he applied for a job in Facebook in May 2009. 15 years ago, he was rejected. In August, there was an opening in Twitter. He applied. After just 2 to 3 months, he was rejected. He partook in thinking out of the box. He worked on his startup, this WhatsApp. After a moment, he was consulted by Facebook. They bought WhatsApp startup from him at the cost of 19 billion USD. 19 billion. Facebook bought WhatsApp at the price of 19 billion USD. And only less than 3 years, he was rejected as an employee by Facebook. But 19 billion USD, they bought WhatsApp from him. Instead of him sitting down, waiting for opening, either in local government or state government or these federal institutions, he worked on the startup and they purchased it at the price of 19 billion USD, while he was rejected less than 3 years ago by the same company, just to serve as an employee. So thinking out of the box is key. If this fails, try to be multidisciplinary. Move to another sector. While growing up, I was a farmer. I was introduced into a farm by my Tsangaya teacher. May Allah be merciful to him. He took me to his farm as a young student in Tsangaya in 1979 or thereabout. While in junior secondary school, I was a tailor. The same in junior secondary school, I was a carpenter. In senior secondary school, I was a tailor and also a mechanic. In my final class, I moved into business. As an undergraduate student in university, I was doing my business. So don't restrict your opportunity to only that paper certificate. Paper certificate is important, but it's not sufficient. And don't make it to be your career. Even if you are employed, continue to build your personal skills. Today, unfortunately, you can graduate with first class in computer science from our system of education. But there are many countries, as long as your terminal degree is from Nigeria, you will not get employed in that area. Only few that are employed with our degree without additional certifications, mostly are medical doctors and people teaching English language in the Middle East. Most of them. But so because of this, don't restrict your career to only Nigeria. Upgrade your skills to the extent that you can go anywhere and work. You should partake either in reskilling or upskilling or cross-skilling, as the case may be. And finally, technical skills. Identify your area, whether in technology or engineering. Excel in certain technical skills that will make you very successful. In our area, I will advise you to excel in artificial intelligence and big data analytics. They are key. If you are like in civil engineering, structural engineering is very important. Don't rely only on your certificate. Go and acquire many certifications that are recognized globally. Most importantly, build and excel in human skills. Human skills are the first two we earlier mentioned. Social skills, empathy and emotional intelligence, optimism and communication skills. And also soft skills of a complex problem solving, critical thinking, and thinking out of the box. They are the actual human skills because they are embedded in you in person. While your technical skill is your ability to use your hand and manipulate. So you need to understand the relationship between education, knowledge, and skills. Education is the way and manner we teach. Knowledge is the ability to understand factual information, while skill is the ability to implement the factual information in practice. So if I know this is that, is knowledge. But if I'm able to implement, that is skills. If I know electrical engineering is knowledge, when I'm invited to fix a problem within my area of study and I fix it hands-on, that is skills. But if I can explain without doing it practically, then I have the knowledge and I don't have the skills. Whatever you can explain theoretically is knowledge. But whatever you can put into practice is what is called skills. So we need to excel in that regard. In finance, there are fourth industrial revolution skills. In management, there are many. In human resource, there are many. In each and every area you find yourself, don't restrict your chances and opportunities to only Katsina State or Nigeria. Try to be a global citizen where your CV can be presented anywhere and you can go anywhere and work. If you find my book, Skills Rather Than Just Degrees, I spoke on this issue of skills from page 8 up to around page 16. Furthermore, your certificates are important but not sufficient. I spoke on that on page 1, saying that we have many opportunities globally. The guy who wrote the foreword of the book is the president of Microsoft globally, Brad Smith from America. And he clearly stated that one of the major problems they are being confronted, they have many openings that remain open for many years. And many applicants are applying year in, year out, but they are not employed. Why? Because there is a mismatch between what they are looking for and what the potential employees have to offer. Update yourself, be multidisciplinary so that you can work anywhere globally and be successful. Thank you very much for listening. May the Almighty Allah bless Katsina State, and may the Almighty Allah bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you.
Pantami Allah dai shi tsare gaba da isa malam Isa kai ka tafi nisa Pantami Allah dai ya tsare gaba da isa Martin Jumbe ya ga garyan garda makata ce macuta.
Thank you, DJ.
Makarban kafa harshe da makoshi.
Kun ji tamburan malam. Akramakallah. An ce sai dai malam ya ce ba kyau amma dai bai ca ba daɗi. That has been the digital malam. We have had the digital of the malam, and inshallah In the evening, we shall have the moral, the religious side of the Malam, where he will be quoting Quran and Hadith and the Sunnah of the leaders in Islam as a role model to our society. We thank you most sincerely for this. Quickly, this event is targeted at the youth. And by what Malan told us here today, the sky is the limit. What is needed from you is that critical thinking, boldness to approach challenges and succumb them to opportunities. You'll be surprised how old was Malam when Katsina State was created. He was just 14 years. 14 years when Katsina State was created, because Malam was born on the 20th of October 1972. By 42 years, he became a minister in the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So what stops you from excelling in whatever endeavor you have chosen for yourself? So the sky is still your limit. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the climax of the opening ceremony. Before I invite His Excellency, the Governor of Katsina State, to plug up this colloquium, let me inform our distinguished guest speaker that His Excellency, I learned from what you have presented that in a year also to come, the AI will provide 95 million new jobs globally. So our governor is proactive in that regard because he has recently sent 68 youth to China to study AI and bioeconomic. Okay. This is in addition to the 43 students he sent to Egypt, sponsored them to study medicine. And these youth or students are students of public schools. Nobody among them that study from a private institution. They are all from public schools. That means they are the sons and daughters of the masses. Katsina at 37 had 9 governors, but the youngest among them is His Excellency, the Governor of Katsina State, the incumbent governor, Malam Diko Umar Adda, PhD, CON. Just last week also, he celebrated his 55th year anniversary, birthday. Malam Diko Adda was a teacher, an administrative reformer by excellence, because at the inception of his administration, he has brought so many changes in the public service, just to enable the civil servant, who are the propellers of the plans and executions of the plans by the political leaders. He's a jinx breaker because he boldly steps forward to challenge the challenges. He's a navigator of peace in northwestern Nigeria. He's currently the chairman of the Northwestern Governors Forum. His Excellency, Madam Diko Umarada, the youth governor, the people's-oriented governor, has brought policies and programs that will take Katsina State to the next, in fact, the highest level ever seen since its creation on the 23rd September 1987. If you look at his cabinet, it comprises young men and young women that are enthusiastic and willing to do the job that is assigned them for the upliftment and for the betterment of Katsina State people. So please, let us join me to welcome His Excellency, the amiable governor of Katsina State, the youngest governor of Katsina State, the enthusiastic governor of Katsina State, to the stage to flag off this colloquium. Madam Diko Umarada, PSD.
Sadaukin gwamna, gwamna da rabin gwamna, haya kai wanda kasa ta nuna, ga mataimakin mu na gwamna, gaskiya da amana, joba mun amfana, ta musu ta ya zauna, da masu amana, da tsauri dan aljanna, ya ce mu wake gwamna.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد ونبيك ورسولك النبي الأمي Sheikh Professor Ali Ibrahim Pantami, our guest speaker and our august visitor to Katsina State. Malam, we thank you very much for having time to be with us despite your busy schedule. What you don't know is Malam is always a hot cake. He's being chased from all angles. So we are lucky to have him today in a very important occasion of the celebration of 37 years of creation of Katsina State by former President Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida. Right Honorable Speaker, Katsina State House of Assembly and other members of the State House of Assembly, Secretary to the Government, His Excellency, Abdullahi Faskari, the Head of Service, members of the State Executive Council, the representative of the Grand Cadi, other government functionaries that are here, and our invited guest. I must not forget the organizer of this event, Associate Professor Ahmed, the young professionals whom we are gathered here today, members of the press, members of the security force, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum. I want to say that the MC has not been very fair to me by allowing Malan to speak before me, because I would like words to match what Malan have already said. But despite that, Malam Professor Ali Pantami is one of the few that we respect in this country, especially in the northern part of the country. We are always proud to see him speaking at international conferences, locally and internationally, and we feel so proud of him. Being a northerner, being a Muslim, we are so excited because by former President Muhammad Buhari as the Minister of Communication and Digital Economy. A lot of people in the country, they were looking forward to see his failure. They said, how could an Islamic scholar be a minister? Because they believe that the people in the northern part of the country are not so eloquent. But he has said it all. Allah has mentioned so important things to us today. I don't know. Mala have spoken a lot of things about us today, and I'm glad the young professionals are here. He spoke about social skills. And I must say that this is one major area that we are. He spoke about empathy, putting yourself in the shoes of others to understand their problem. He has spoke about being optimism. Never see anything as impossible. Move. Malan has mentioned some of his experiences. And he has spoken about optimism. He has said something that when I wanted to contest and resign my appointment as DG's maiden, when I had about 4 years to stay in office, my wife did not agree with me, my immediate family did not agree with me, my closest friends did not agree with me, but I'm optimistic that let me try it. And we have seen it all in Katsina. There were so many things that were flying at that time. If so are not supporting you, you can't be a governor. If so are not supporting you, you can't be a governor. But I was a loner, and God allowed it. Today I'm standing before you as a governor. He spoke about soft skills, complex problem solving, critical thinking, thinking outside the box. If we are not able to focus our attention, and that does not require being in a block of classroom, that does not require you to have a degree, but what it means utilizing the brain that God has given you. Then lastly, he spoke about technical skills. The technical skills is this. You got the knowledge, but how can you put the knowledge into use? We decided to have the young professional colloquium today to mark 37 years anniversary because the future of the state lies with the young people. we are coming to the end of our lives, given our age, but we have hopes on you. We expect you to make Katsina proud. We expect you to move this nation, not only Katsina. Malam is alone from Bauchi, from Gombe State, but he has made Nigeria proud. He has made Africa proud. Why can't you excel so that you can be far, far better than Malam Ali Ibrahim Pantami? This is the best we could do. When we decided to take children, our young students, to study artificial intelligence and biotechnology, some people were criticizing us, but we know where we are moving. We are looking at the future. We are not looking at today or tomorrow. We are looking at 20, 30 years to come. What will Katsina State be when we are not there? The opportunity is here. Please try to take opportunity of the presence of Malam today and ask all the questions that you want to ask so that you can put yourself in a position to move forward and make Katsina State proud. Allah has blessed Katsina State. With all sense of humility, God has blessed Katsina State more than I can say any other state in this country, in terms of positions that the people of Katsina State have occupied in this country and the contribution they have made to the development of this country. We have produced 2 presidents, or I can say 3 presidents at different times. Buhari was a military president in 1984. He was elected president for 8 years, and Umar Musa Yar'Adua was also elected president of Nigeria. We had a vice president almost twice, I can say. We had Sheikh Musa Yar'Adua, who was the chief of Defense Supreme Headquarters. We had Hassan Usman, who was the chief of Army Staff and also the governor of the Northern Region. We had Chief Justice of this country. We had 2 Presidents of Court of Appeals in Katsina State. We had 2 Inspector General of Police in Katsina State. We had 2 NIA directors in Katsina State. You can mention in all fields. We shouldn't allow it to die in our own hands. We shouldn't allow it to die in our own hands. And that was the reason when I formed my government, I was able to inject young people into the government, both male and female, so that we can have people who can drive the state in the next 10, 20 years to come. That is the vision. We came up with a lot of transformations, a lot of policies. Why? Because we are thinking of the future, we are not thinking of today or tomorrow or yesterday. Katsina State will live and outlive us, all of us here. Malam has mentioned it, that Katsina State, by archaeological findings, it has revealed that the town has existed for over 4,000 years. As a state, only 37 years. So, but definitely we will live, and Katsina State will be there. Nigeria will be there. The world will be there for all of us. So let's strive hard to ensure that we seize this opportunity and utilize the moment so that we can build our future. I want to show my commitment to the young professionals that Katsina State government is willing and ready to support those who want to develop themselves. Recently, I discovered a young man who designed a car. And I've asked the scholarship board to find a school anywhere outside Nigeria that can allow him to build his skills and excel. I have discovered a boy in Katsina who has developed so many softwares. I have now sponsored that young man to go to America, Silicon Valley, to study software so that he can develop his skills in that direction. So there are a lot of opportunities. Anybody who has anything exceptional that he needs support to develop, Katsina State government will be ready to support that young person. Before I end my speech, I want to thank the organizers under the chairmanship of the Secretary to the government of Katsina State, whom they have been committed to this organization throughout the period when we started. And I also want to thank Associate Professor Ahmed and the young professionals that are here today. I hope that this discussion will be very fruitful, not only to us, but to the state entirely, and it will be an inspiring to the development of the state in general. All we need from you, we need your support, we need your prayers. And as Malam mentioned, we are open for any valuable suggestion, that you may have in order for us to address the issue of insecurity that has been disturbing us over years. And also for any other developmental issues that you may have any suggestions. The government is open to receive it. You can channel it through the office of the secretary to the government or through the office of the economic advisor to the governor, who is equally a young person like you. Or you can channel it to our directorate of ICT under a young person like you who is sitting before us today. So please, we are open to all these things. For Malam, we thank you for coming to Katsina, and we thank you for sharing your experiences and knowledge and skills to help our young people in Katsina State. You know, Malam is a rare person because today I witnessed something very unique from him. He writes with both left and right hand, and very eloquently well. I've never seen that before, and it is rare to see a person who is so versatile in Western education as well as in Islamic education. So that is why I urge all of you to ensure that you train your children to be Hafiz of Quran. Because once you are a Hafiz at a very young age, it opens your brain for whatever knowledge that gets into your head. And it makes life easy for everyone. I think it's because Malam was a Hafiz at a very young age. That was why he excelled in everything that he endeavored into. So I think it's an advice. I've been struggling to get Hafiz in my children, but I believe inshallah Allah will give me one. And I hope that we will all strive to have one Hafiz or two in our family. The sky is the limit. Thank you, and God bless all of you. I wish you fruitful discussion. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Can we once more appreciate His Excellency, the Governor of Katsina State, Malam Diko Marada, PhD, CON. Our guest speaker, sir, His Excellency has told you a little about Katsina State, the contributions of Katsina State to the development of Nigeria in all aspects of lives. Your Excellency, we may all recall that by 2007, there was a context, political context in Nigeria when Nigeria was navigating to get a president. We were left with no choice. The major parties provided their choices from Katsina. The PDP gave Omar Musa Yar'Adua its flag, while the ANPP gave Buhari the flag to fly. So Nigeria was left with no choice than to elect its president from Katsina State. Despite all the political permutations, all the consultations, all the rigors, but Nigeria surrendered to Katsina State to provide them with a president. And God, in his infinite mercy, both presidential aspirants later became presidents of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. We are grateful to God. In just 37 years, Katsina State has made it. Your Excellencies, we have come to the end of the first segment of this event, whereby His Excellency and his entourage will take their leave and allow our guest speaker, the young professor with the young professionals, to dine together. But before then, I would like to invite and request His Excellency and the Chief Executive Officers that are here at the high table to please step forward on the stage for a group photograph. Your Excellency, sir. Professor Ahmed, where are you? Ahmed. Okay. So, Your Excellency, you are good to go. All participants that have been invited for this event should remain seated, please.
General Ibrahim Badamazi Babangida, the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Nigerian Armed Forces, announced the creation of Katsina State on September 23rd in a special nationwide broadcast. To this end, Decree number 24 of 1987, known as States Creation and Transitional Provisions Decree, was promulgated. It stipulated that a new state to be known as Katsina State will be carved out of the old Kaduna State. The areas which formed the new Katsina State were Daura, Mani, Dutchama, Kankia, Malumfashi, Puntua, and Katsina local government areas. The new state covers an area of about 24,759 square kilometers and has an estimated population of 4.7 million people. The creation of Katsina State did not come easily, although it was long expected by the people. The demand for the state started as far back as 1976, when there was a widespread call for the creation of additional states in the country. Katsina, Alhaji Musa Adua, a minister in the First Republic, was among the people who were in the forefront for the demand of Katsina State.
I was assistant treasurer. I know we expended over $250,000, all donated by the people. Some donated the cars, motorcycles, bicycles. So when you have such a donation like this, There is no doubt that the people want to have a Katsina state.
What has been the response then before and after the creation of Katsina state?
The response is but nothing but joy. The people gave their money, they gave their time looking for the state. Suddenly, we have a Katsina state. Then, what will the people do? They will all cry with joy, happiness, and all whatnot.
Would you say that the whole exercise has been benefiting?
It's mostly benefiting. People who are looking for a state of their own, they have a state. Well, what will be more benefiting than that?
The first step taken by the federal military government to effectively set in motion the immediate takeoff of the new state was the appointment of Colonel Abdullahi Sarki Mukhtar as the first military governor.
I, Lieutenant Colonel Abdullahi Mukhtar, do solemnly swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the Federal Republic of Nigeria, that as the governor of Katsina State, I will discharge my duties to the best of my ability, faithfully and in accordance with the laws of the Republic of Nigeria, and always in the interest of the sovereignty, integrity, solidarity, well-being and prosperity of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. That I will exercise authority vested in me as governor so as not to impede or prejudice the authority lawfully vested in the President, Commander-in-Chief of the...
The people of Katsina State gave the new chief executive immense assistance by making available to the administration over 200 houses which were to be used as offices and accommodation for government workers. In addition, they gave over 2.6 million naira to assist the smooth takeoff of government. The military governor, despite all the assistance, still faced enormous task of settling the government and undertaking the immediate task of building the state.
When I heard of my appointment as the first military governor of Katsina State, I did appreciate that there would be quite a number of problems. One, in relation to the movement of staff, accommodation, and of course, a most fundamental, trying as much as possible to live within the hopes and aspirations of people who for years have yearned for and eventually got a state created after years of such expectations. Therefore, when we moved in much as one appreciate within the midst of people with tremendous goodwill to receive and to see to fruition the realities of what a state would mean to them. So because of that, we had the additional burden of not only contending with the numerous problems of establishing an administration, but also trying to see that we keep and sustain the tempo of the euphoria which attended to the creation of Katsina State. So as I said earlier on, we had the problems, one of the movement, second, placement of staff, and then of course getting even the structure within which the various organs and agencies of government will be so located. And of course, I have the added responsibility, and what one may regard as a problem too, of picking up the principal officers with whom I will start that administration. Of course, one is able to pick up the principal officers, and so long as there is clear perception of what is it one will have, I think some of the problems will have been solved. And then of course you have the problem of having to contend with an environment which hitherto had been the seat of a local government, now transforming itself into a state capital. And therefore, you also have to contend with finding alternate positions for the various offices and departments of the local government administration. But with God on our side and with the dedicated approach which each and every of the pioneer staff of the Katsina State government did exhibit and put into action, one would happily recall that much as those early days were very taxing, one will say we have done the very best we could to put Katsina's
discussions of and make his remarks. At the end of it all, there is provision for lunch. So please don't go away. There will be lunch for you. So you remain seated and let us put our interest and attention to what is going to happen today at this moment, because this is the climax of the event. This is the reason you are invited. So please let us clear our view, let us clear our minds and pay attention to what is going to happen at the moment. So may Iconic Marlin will invite Professor. Sir, Professor may remain seated. There is an arrangement for that. Iconic Marlin, please. Iconic Alhaji, come and bring Professor to the stage.
In the ever-evolving landscape of a financial profession, ladies and gentlemen, permit me as I welcome to the stage an eloquent leader, the first ever digital economy minister, and inshallah our next governor of Gombe, Professor Ali Ibrahim Pantami. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much. Welcome to the second part of today's interactive session. To the second part of today's session, together with our erudite scholar, Professor Sheikh Ali Ibrahim Pantami. So we're going to begin this session in this way. We're going to have a direct Q&A from my side to him for 20 minutes. And then we open the floor for your questions. And then we're going to group you into clusters. So we are going to divide this column into 2 and this column into 2. So we are going to take the first cluster in the front lines and then pick first 5 people. Then we go to the back end and pick 5 people. Now come to this side and do the same. So you have only 2 minutes to ask the professor any question of your choice regarding career development, personal skills, and anything that will help you develop as a person. So we ask for your indulgence to stick to that 2 minutes. So to begin with, so we're going to utilize these first 20 minutes to ask these leading questions to our amiable professor. Sir, thank you so much for making it to Katsina. I'm sure, like yesterday we had a conversation. You say that has been 2 years since you've been in Katsina town for a purpose. Thank you so much for making it. So let's begin with the lessons of your life. I know we've read so much about you. We don't want to go into the detail of the story, but what major lessons should we learn from your life? Or what has been the major lessons you learned from your life? Thank you, sir.
So, in the name of Allah, the entirely merciful and the especially merciful, I begin by thanking him for the opportunity to meet once again with you after the opening session for this Q&A and also an interactive session with my respected and noble younger brother, Associate Professor Ahmed Adamu. I pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to continue to bless his life and make him very successful in whatever he does. As a younger brother to me, I have been with him for a minimum of 13 solid years. And I can say it anywhere, he is among the most productive youth we have, not in Nigeria or Africa, but globally. He is a global icon that we are very proud of. I had a discussion with His Excellency, my colleague and brother, my colleague in university and brother, the governor, Malang Dikko Umar Radda, PhD CON, about him in his office and also here during the event. I am excited to hear so many kind words from the governor, and I'm very proud of you. And I pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to continue to take care of you for us and for humanity. Your question about the lessons I have learned from my life. Firstly, I can say endurance, patience, and optimism. These three things, I learned that as long as you have them, you acquire them, you will continue to be very successful in life. Throughout my career, starting from Tsangaya School, after graduation to primary school, junior secondary school, senior secondary school, higher education, undergraduate, postgraduate, throughout my life, it's all about endurance, patience, and optimism. If you acquire these three, inshallah, you will be very successful in your life. When the need arises, I will explain further.
All right. Thank you so much. Could you be more specific in terms of behavior, rather, or attitude, or skills that served you the most?
As I earlier mentioned during my presentation, that a human brain can accommodate a minimum of 2.5 million terabytes of data or information. This is a minimum, but maximum capacity, there is no limit. Your brain is limitless. While growing up, initially, my father enrolled me into Tsangaya School with the intention of staying there maybe often around 25 to 30 years. I was able to complete the memorization of the Quran at the age of less than 9. The first memorization at the age of less than 9. With that, he allowed me to get enrolled into primary education. Initially, it was not the plan. And secondly, that provided an avenue for me to continue to excel as a student, one, in Islamic knowledge on one hand, and on worldly knowledge on the other. That is why whenever I have an interaction with our friend Professor Ibrahim Makari, one of our chief imams at the Central or National Masjid Abuja, he always addresses me that, Malang, you are two personalities in one body. We have, as he usually says, we have a religious scholar in your body. We have an expert in worldly knowledge also inside your body. That is why whenever an issue comes up, I will say, which Pantami? Is Pantami an Islamic scholar or Pantami an expert in computer science? So he always jokes with me in that regard, saying that you are not one personality. You are two personalities in one body. So what I learned in life, that our brain is limitless. Two, Allah Ta'ala has endowed us with capacity that we can excel and become multidisciplinary scholars in our life, the way our forefathers excelled. When you read the books of people like Imam Suyuti, may Allah have mercy on him, Imam Ibn Hajar, and many others, you will be wondering about their field of specialization. Why? Because in any field, when they write, they excel. You cannot see that it is a superficial, but rather they will go deeply and explain things in biology to the extent that you will see it is only recently that modern biology, with all the technological advancement, are coming out with some of their sayings and the facts they documented. So what I have learned in life, we are underutilizing our capacity by excelling only in one area in life. We need a new generation of our young people that can excel in worldly knowledge as medical doctors, engineers, lawyers, accountants, on one hand, and they can also excel religiously as the memorizers of the Quran, expert in hadith, and many more. So we should not limit or underutilize what Allah has endowed us with. We need people that will excel. They know they are left and they know they are right. When it comes to religion, they are experts. When it comes to worldly knowledge, they are experts. So what I learned from what my parents taught me, or the schools they enrolled me, is you can excel and be two personalities in one, or even 3 or 4 personalities in one body, as the case may be. Our brains, our capacity has no limit. Let us not underutilize this. And at the same time, let us excel religiously so that we can know our Lord and worship Him correctly, and also excel in worldly knowledge so that we can fit into this world and occupy any position, whether administratively or educationally or economically or technologically or any Lee you have in your dictionary.
Thank you so much. That's very wonderful. Do not restrict yourself to one thing. Do not just restrict yourself to one capacity. You can be so many things in life. And I remember I mentioned it, in 6 months you can be anything you want to learn, you want to be. Thank you so much, sir. So that what has served you well. Is there anything that you will wish to do differently? Something in your life that you think you will wish to go back and do it differently? Something that you wouldn't want to do it the same way you did it?
Associate Professor, before you ask me this question, I have been struggling to answer it in the last 6 years. And it is one of the unresolved questions I have. Do I have any regret in life? Certainly not. We make mistakes as human beings. And this is part of our creation. No human being is perfect. Secondly, we always learn from experience and our mistakes. So life is about learning process. Saying that most probably you make a mistake last year doesn't mean that you are regretting. At that stage of your life, the decision you have taken was the correct one. So definitely and certainly, I don't have anything significant to regret or to go back in my life and repeat it. I don't have anything. Certainly for now, I don't have it.
So all your mistakes and failures were assets?
They are assets, and they are the foundation of where I am today.
So young people, they should not be deterred by any failure they face at the current time.
Failure in life is inevitable. It is inevitable. You fail often, but you still stand up and continue until you are successful.
All right. So let's get into leadership. You've held the most powerful positions in Nigeria. You are the chief ICT officer of the country. You later became the minister of communications and digital economy, and you've transformed the industry. But none of these positions, you looked for it. You didn't look for any one of this. They all came to you as a surprise. So now, what advice will you give to the young people? Are positions to be chased, or do you attract the positions? Do you chase them, or do you wait and attract them?
As you earlier mentioned, so far in life, I have never begged for any position in my life. So far in my life, I have never begged. In February 2016, the then president, our father, President Muhammad Buhari, was in Saudi during his official visit to Riyadh. He invited me and I met him in his presidential residence in Medina. After my meeting with him, he asked me to wait for him briefly outside. Then he sent somebody to me, firstly with a token amount of money to give it to my children at home in dollars. And secondly, he asked me to submit my CV to him. It took me 4 days to submit the CV. After submitting the CV, the next thing I had was on 26 September 2016, appointing me as the Director General and the Chief Executive Officer of the National Information Technology Development Agency. I didn't know anything. It was even announced. My phone was off after a presentation in a conference like this. So I switched off my phone with my wife. We slept up. When I woke up, I switched on my phone, messages everywhere. It was there I discovered that 3 hours ago I was appointed as the DG. I didn't ask for it. In July 2019, I was in London Business School attending a course on leading change. My phone was off. When I came out for a break like this break we had, I switched on my phone again. Then I saw my name being congratulated. I was worried. The first one I saw was from a younger brother to my wife, my brother-in-law. He was congratulating me. Then I was thinking whether my wife gave birth because she was pregnant at that time. Then I started going through messages. Then I discovered a list of ministerial nominee. From the list, then I discovered my name. I was not aware, I was not informed, and there was no any formal or informal contact from President Buhari to me. There was nothing. I didn't know anything. I didn't know anything. My name was just announced. Recently, I was only consulted by ASRIC, African Union, through their African Scientific Research and Innovation Council, that my name has been recommended as the co-chairman for the formulation of the first industrial revolution policy for the 54 African countries. I didn't ask for it. I only received a call requesting that I should submit it. University of Medina, I left university for Medina, Nigeria for Medina after my PhD. The same way, initially I didn't apply for it. In the Islamic University of Medina, they established 2 new faculties of technology. And you know, before you live in Medina, you need to fulfill certain conditions. Firstly, you must be a Muslim. Secondly, they needed someone with PhD. And most importantly, PhD either from the United Kingdom or America or Canada is their priority. I fit into these conditions. Number 3, most of their children being enrolled into the faculty as a new one graduated from Arabic school. They only attend preparatory year for English program. The English is not sufficient for them to learn everything in English. So they need someone to come and support them who can speak English and Arabic fluently. This is what gave me an added advantage, Arabic and English. So because of that, my name was recommended, and I only received a phone call requesting to meet me either in Aberdeen or London or in Nigeria. We had an agreement, and they came and met me, and they offered me the opportunity. My mom was alive then. May Allah be merciful to her. I said, based on our upbringing, Medina is very dear to me, I said to them. And I believe that it is a privilege for me to live in Medina, the city of our beloved Prophet. However, I cannot take decision without reaching out to my mother. The final decision lies with her. If she says yes, it's yes. If she says no, then I reach out to her. She says, why not? I wish you all the best. Allah maka al-barka. That was her statement. And I consulted my immediate family. They all endorsed it. They were very comfortable. And I left Nigeria for the International Islamic University of Medina to be the first Nigerian citizen to serve as an academic there, the pioneer one. Alhamdulillah. So if you look at all the opportunities, working at ATVU, I gave an example. I only received a phone call from Professor Mansur bin Dawa from Katsina State. Then Dr. Awal Mansur bin Dawa. He had a meeting with late Professor Ladan Sheikh, Alhaji Ali Deba, Dr. Abubakar from Lafi and Nasarawa State. They met together and said he graduated and left the university. We must bring him back. That is how it took place. They went to our VC, Professor Abubakar Sani Sambo. They presented and said, why not? We need Isa Ali Ibrahim back. So he endorsed it. And they reached out to me, directed me to come to ATBU for documentation. So all the opportunities that so far come to me, I have never begged for anyone. And that is why what is important here, I always remind our younger ones. When you talk to them about personal development, they say opportunities in life is about connection. The only connection you need to be successful is the connection between you and your Lord, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If your connection is effective between you and Allah, Allah is the one that will bring somebody to come into your life and support you. All these people, Allah brought them into our lives to support us. We didn't ask for that. And we are from a very humble background. Very humble background. What my vision in the last 40 years, my vision, I exceeded all of them by more than 500%. Allah knows, coming from Pantami district in Gombe State, our humble beginning, even up to my secondary education, I have never anticipated to even be a commissioner in a state throughout my life. Even to serve as a commissioner is from Allah. Unfortunately, today our youth are sitting down, they say, what you need in life is connection. Which connection are you looking for more than your connection with your Lord? The connection you need to be successful in your life is your connection between you and your Lord. Be obedient to Him. Take care of yourself. Continue to excel in social skills, soft skills, technical skills. Build your capacity as a human being. Opportunities will come to you. Allah will bring people that will come and elevate you in life. But you cannot sit down at home and say you are looking for connection. We came from humble background. In the true sense of the word, from humble background. I mean it and I say it. There is no doubt about this. And what Allah did for us, we exceeded even our imagination by over 500% in life. And we didn't even beg for it. Yeah. We didn't even supplicate for the positions we occupied. Even in our supplication, it was not part of it. Our only supplication is, oh Allah, make us successful in this world, make us successful in the hereafter, take us away from the punishment of the hellfire. That is all. Wow, mashallah. So to me, you have no limit in life as long as your connection between you and your Lord is effective. If that connection is intact, don't waste your time seeking for somebody. You interact with people cordially. You respect your elders. You are kind to them. You interact with people with dignity and respect. You serve your Lord. You build your capacity.
Yes.
Definitely, Almighty will do the remaining for you.
Good. Excellent. All right. So that means you have to attract the positions and success by being all these things you mentioned, connection with God, building capacity, and all these positions will come to you. But what caught my mind was when you said when you are appointed the minister, you were in London attending a workshop called Leading the Change. And you are a master of change, especially when you are at the Ministry of Communication and Digital Economy. You are the one who even cropped the name. Yes. Rename it. And yes, within 4-year tenure as a minister, you transformed the IT industry entirely. And could you tell us how you're able to manage change, transformational change for that matter, effectively and within short time? Especially young people and leaders want to make change very fast. but that sometimes comes with some challenges and risks. How are you able to manage change? And what advice could you advise the young people in making changes in their lives?
Bringing positive change in a country like Nigeria is one of the most difficult things to achieve. However, you must remain very optimistic when you are given the opportunity to continue to push and push and push until you attain it. In real sense, I will still take us back to my presentation. These are the skills you need to be successful and bring positive change. Number one, the same with social skills. Social skills, optimism, empathy, and emotional intelligence in managing your lieutenants, communication skills with your leaders and your followers, critical thinking, complex problem solving, thinking out of the box. Absolutely, all the changes we brought in governance are directly related to all these qualities I earlier mentioned. Based on my nature, I am an optimist. No matter how difficult a situation is, you will not push me to lose hope. With all our challenges in Nigeria, in poverty, hunger, insecurity, with all the challenges, I am still very optimistic about our future. However, we need to do two things. One, to stand up and partake in making our country a better place for all. Number two, we supplicate to the Almighty so that our effort will achieve the desired result. These skills are very important in bringing positive change. Public office, particularly in government, is one of the most difficult places to serve, particularly when you are appointed as a CEO or a minister. When you meet civil servants, we may have some of them here. Apologies to all civil servants here. When you are appointed, they will see you as an outsider. You are here on transit, and it is true. Yeah. We met them there, and we left them there. You are on transit. Secondly, you are an appointee. It's not your career. They are career civil servants. And thirdly, you have superior power over them as their supervisor, even though as a minister, the permanent secretary is the chief accounting officer, not you. You are only the chief executive officer. But as a DG or MD or CEO, you are both chief accounting officer and chief executive officer, both of them. But as a minister, it's only one. So when you are appointed, firstly, what they will plan to do is they will try to teach you, if you cannot beat us, join us. They will start to open the gates of corrupt practices for you. Oh God, there is opportunity here and there. When they are successful in dragging you into corrupt practices, they will get one or two strong evidences against you. Whenever you try to bring any change or to intimidate them, they will threaten you with that, not directly, indirectly. If they push you to compromise, they say, no, I'm not interested. PAMSEC will come to you or any director, oh God, there are some contracts. You say, no, it's not my work. We have Procurement Act in place. Contract is to be awarded through due process, competitive bidding. So allow citizens to go and bid through that competition. The law doesn't allow somebody just to bring his friend or relative or his son or daughter or his biological brother to come and do. When you reject it, you are making their work more difficult for them. When they try all avenues to compromise, they fail to achieve it, then you will earn their respect. When you ask them to adjust, they will adjust. When you ask them to improve, they will improve. However, at the initial stage, their effort is to make you to join their club. If you cannot beat them, join them. Some of the civil servants in Nigeria are the engine of corruption. They know how to perpetrate and perpetuate corrupt practices. They master it. Only tell them what you want to do. They will come up with the template of how to navigate. And you will navigate it successfully. But when you show to them it's not your interest, you want them to change, then they will comply. Many of them complied with our agenda. They improved. I recall one officer came to my office from southern part of the country. He's not a Muslim. He came to me, he said, Oga, I just come to thank you. I say, what? For what reason? He said, before your appointment, my conscience was telling me that even the salary I was earning was not legitimate and legal to me. I say, why? He said, there was no work to do. Now you improve our capacity. Whenever we come to the office, we have a work to do. When we work, you appreciate, you commend us. You send for us for training internationally and locally. We are building our capacity. And now I feel that what I am earning is legitimate and legal for me. And I have peace of mind. And I just come to appreciate you for that. Our instinct, even our inbuilt faith is always telling us to do the right things. And even if we do the wrong, we feel deep inside us that what we are doing is not right. So that is why we need a little push to make the difference. So I strongly believe that if you are appointed in government, the first thing you need to do, make sure you are not willing to compromise. Number two, build your social skills with your team members so that they can always open it up for you. You interact with them, you communicate with them diligently. You respect them as human beings, not only the hierarchy people occupy, you respect them. You partake in critical thinking. Establish your baseline. What are the indices? You are appointed today. What is the baseline in revenue generation, staff performance, this and that, based on your responsibility? If you establish your baseline, partake in an assessment of your human resources. Do you have the capacity to deliver? If they don't have the capacity to deliver, you can outsource some of them from outside on certain agreements while building the capacity of those within the system so that they can complement each other. Because the difficulty, you can be appointed in government and discover that the team you have in place has no capacity to deliver. And even if they have the capacity, you need to partake in societal reorientation, enhance their discipline. Some of them are not interested in any project of Nigeria because the system is not about that. So you need to partake in their reorientation, to reorient them, to show to them we have no any other country to call our own but Nigeria. It is not about enriching themselves or enriching yourself. It is about making Nigeria a better place for ourselves, for our children, and even those that are yet to be born. So you need to do that and reorient them and also organize capacity building for them. You can hardly find a consultant that will come and present, build their capacity the way you like it. While I was a minister, I was the one building the capacity of my staff in the ministry. I was organizing in-house training where I signed certificates for them about social skills, soft skills, technical skills, performance enhancement, management, and for all the parastatals. I taught the management staff of NCC. For NID, I organized training for them, capacity training, NIMSI, Galaxy Backbone, NICHCOMSAT, NIPOS, all of them. I was organizing in-house training where sometimes I will spend 10 hours in a session, try to build their capacity so that we can work together. It's not just about telling them. I was organizing training and at the same time evaluating their performance from time to time. And when I develop a policy, I have a team in place that after every month, I will evaluate the implementation of that policy. If the implementation is successful, there is going to be a commendation. Some of them some of my staff do have personal letter that I signed for them as a commendation to appreciate them. Some of them who failed to deliver, they have some letters of query. Why? Because the way and manner we can query, it is in the same and manner we must commend and appreciate them. Some of them attended many international trainings because of their performance. It's not about taking money and giving them. There are 1,001 avenues where you can encourage your performing staff to do more. Because the reward of hard work is more work. So there are many avenues. So in real sense, building the capacity is key. Reorienting them is another very important point. Thinking out of the box is critical. When I was directed to supervise NIMSI, National Identity Management Commission, in October 2022 by the then President Muhammadu Buhari, may Allah bless him. NIMSI was 13 years old at the time I was directed to supervise. And the entire database, 39 million in Nigeria. 39 million, less than 20% of our citizens. He directed me to supervise NIMSI. I only went to him for a briefing. After the meeting, he asked me, whom do you think among your colleagues can be appointed to supervise NIMSI effectively among the ministers? I say, sir, are you talking about relevant ministry or personalities among the ministers? He said ministry, and I gave 2 ministries. He said, what are personalities? And I mentioned 1 person. He said, why not you? And I remained silent. He said, okay, I will not transfer NIMSI to both ministries or that personality. I will transfer NIMSI to you, and you must do it. Wow. And I complied. I was directed to supervise NIMSI. NIMSI had no infrastructure. The few they had were obsolete. Salary, not encouraging. When I was directed to supervise, some of them as graduates with 7 years or 8 years of experience, with degree, they were earning less than 50, not more than 50,000 naira. The first thing I did to build their capacity, secondly, to increase their salary. The increase in salary, for the first instance, I increased NIMSI's salary, or I obtained the approval of increasing NIMSI's salary by over 350%. And we introduced a minimum of 3 allowances. Then enrollment, no facilities. Then I lobbied the telecommunication companies. I said to them, you have corporate social responsibilities that you used to give to ministers. I am not interested in that. Take that CSR to NIMSI. Don't give NIMSI money. Buy the facilities they need for the enrollment. And they did so. I inherited 39 million citizens in the database. That 39 was achieved in 13 years, from 2007 to 2020 October. But from 2020 October to early May 2023, I increased the enrollment to over 100 million citizens. Without collecting 1 naira from federal government for enrollment. We achieved over 61 million increase in 2 years, and we inherited only 39 million citizens in 13 years. And in 13 years, with a budgetary provision of enrollment of over 100 billion naira, while we achieved this without a budgetary provision of 1 naira for enrollment.
Wow. Unbelievable. Wow.
This is only one example. So this is thinking out of the box. You were directed to supervise. You needed money, no money. You needed facilities, no facilities. Staff salary, not encouraging. So my thinking out of the box to lobby for the increase in salary, I achieve it. Enrollment, no money to do that. Let me reach out to corporate social responsibility. Utilize it so that we can get the facilities and enroll citizens. And thirdly, when you say citizens go and enroll, they will not do that. But since we link up the enrollment with NIN and SIM registration, they want to retain their SIM. So they must go and obtain NIN in order to use their SIM. Yes. Because if you say go and enroll, they will not do. But when you say it's a prerequisite to retaining your SIM, so they will do it. So they obtain NIN in order to retain SIM. And government now has a database in place, national database. Yes. A national database is very important, not only in security, in education, in health, in economy, whatever we do, we need our national database to be in place. Yeah, sure. And at least by the time I left office, the database enrollment was over 100 million citizens.
Yeah. All right, thank you so much, sir. I think I have some series of questions, but I will pause here and come back to you guys. That's why we are here. But these are the leading questions, but let's share the microphone across. Let's start with this cluster only here. Let me, half of these rows, let's say 10 or 11 rows. So I will give numbers. Yusuf 1. It seems like I know this row. A lot of, another Yusuf here. Rafika, okay, Yusuf, the second Yusuf. Yusuf 1, Yusuf 2. Rafika 3. Doctor 4. And the young lady here 5. So where is the microphone? Number 1, Yusuf, make your question 2 minutes. Then Prof will collect the 5 series of the questions and respond to them at once.
Assalamu alaikum.
All right.
Okay.
We're going to do it directly, one to one.
Okay.
Yeah, but to make it very brief.
Okay.
Anyway.
Introduce yourself, please, before you ask me the question.
Okay.
My name is Isa Ali Ibrahim, popularly known as Isa Ali Pantami. Yes. I introduce myself.
Well, what's your popular name? You tell us your nickname.
Okay, my name is Yusuf Salisu Njua, and I am popularly known by TM Yusuf. TM standing for Toastmaster.
Okay.
I am the Deputy President of Katsina Chamber of Commerce. Okay. And also a managing partner of Lumilab. Incidentally, I met with Professor last week at a conference, but in a different capacity. I was the MC of the conference. Okay. Exactly. And I was not able to ask my question at that conference when they stopped taking questions. And I think it's God that is helping me and giving me the opportunity again to be able to ask my question. So going straight to the question, Your Excellency, this is a gathering of young professionals, and a lot of motivational talks have been given to push these young people to learn skills, most of which are the skills that they can go and learn online, perhaps maybe on YouTube or on e-learning platforms. Your Excellency, there is a crisis that we have been trying to address, but we feel by your presence, we should lend your powerful voice to help us address this kind of issue. Because if you go online, there is no limit, there is no filter, there is no control to the kind of content that you come across when you want to learn something. So a lot of people become victims of motivational gurus that are actually not motivational gurus. So most of the times they follow the wrong direction of becoming successful people. These people, they package how to become successful and they spend a lot of money to promote it, and people buy it a lot. And most young people in the developing world that are looking to succeed, they fall victims of such kind of schemes. So I thought we should use your voice to speak to this, just so that to direct our young colleagues on the right forward. Thank you very much.
Well, let's take the second question so that Prof will take the two.
In real sense, your question, Brother Yusuf, is not very clear to me. I expect you to say this is the question, but what you have given now is more of an explanation or complaint about online content.
Yeah, but let's take the second one, perhaps.
What
so
is important? Firstly, if you are talking about online to build your skills, it all depends on your area of expertise. If you are within the technology, I will say there are certifications and content being provided by the tech giants. Microsoft certification, for example, is one of the best. And in so many areas you can obtain certifications. We have that of Cisco, certifications of Huawei. When it comes to skills, we have institutions that are providing, like that of MIT, Massachusetts Technology, is there online. Harvard is essential. If you are looking for developing countries, the content of Indian Institute of Technology is very apt. So it all depends on your area of expertise or where you want to get the content or what you want to develop. This is what is very important. If you are talking about locally, we have so many speeches and presentations about skills that are relevant in the fourth industrial revolution online. If you go to our channels, there are many contents. Even my younger brother, Associate Professor Ahmed Adamu, he has so many contents of building skills, how to even improve your learning, your memorization, your brain capacity. He has so many. Even yesterday, my wife saw my picture with him. After he left me in the hotel, he posted the picture on Twitter. She saw the picture. Around 2 a.m. this morning, she called me. She said, I watched 2 of his clips. Okay. They were inspiring. She was commending him. And she was even asking me that she is interested in following some of his content. So she is at my home as my wife, but commending him. That is how knowledge is. It's universal. It's universal. So there are so many contents.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. Let us be brief. Ask the question within 1 minute, and I will try to answer within 1 minute.
Yes, please.
So that many can.
1 minute, 1 minute.
Answer.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. My name is Yusuf Umar Usman, and I am the program director at Ideas and Data Global Academy.
Another Yusuf.
Yes, sir.
Right.
So my question is, looking back at your journey, what you have shared with us earlier, what is that one decision or mindset shift that have significantly impacted both your professional and personal life? And how can young people that are here can leverage on that mindset shift also? Thank you.
The actual mindset that is influential and played the principal role of achieving what Allah Ta'ala has given to us in life with all sense of humility, that mindset is optimism. I still repeat it, is optimism. I am an optimist. And I learn optimism more, believe me, from the glorious Quran. Most of the skills I learned, let me be frank with you, are from the Quran. Optimism, you will discover the entire life story of Allah's prophets. Everything is about optimism. Take, for example, Musa alayhi salam. I'm not here to preach. But for example, فَلَمَّا تَرَى الْجَمْعَانِ قال أصحاب موسى إنا لمدركون قال كلا إن معي ربي سيهدين. This is optimism. My Lord is with me and he will protect me. This is optimism. Surah Ash-Shu'ara, read verse 63, 64, 65 to see. It's very clear. It's optimism. His followers were pessimistic. They said, فَلَمَّا تَرَى الْجَمْعَانِ the companions of Musa said, إِنَّا لَمُدْرَكُونَ. Definitely they will block us. They will catch us. He said, no, my Lord is with me. And Allah salvaged them. This is optimism. So optimism is the foundation. Don't accept any informal impossible. Anything that someone can tell you is impossible, as long as it's not divine, it's possible. Yes. Take it as possible. It's optimism.
Yes, sir.
And when it comes to optimism, you are to be over-ambitious. Not over-ambitious illegally. Be over-ambitious, illegal, and legitimate things you are pursuing in your life. Your life has no limit. You can attain whatever you want to achieve. Particularly if you are from humble background. I strongly believe that it is easier to attain success through hardship and difficulty than to attain success through luxury and ease. It is easier through difficulty and hardship. So when you are from humble background, poor background, remain very optimistic. Continue to build your skills and partake in personal development. Be well organized. You will definitely be successful. So my major takeaway is optimism. And you cannot attain optimism of your mindset except through endurance, patience, consistency, constancy, steadfastness. You must acquire them before you attain optimism. Read the stories of people that are optimists, inspiring stories. If you do that, I assure you, Brother Yusuf, you will, inshallah, continue to be very successful in whatever you do.
All right.
I wish you all the best.
Thanks so much, Comrade Rafika.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. My name is Usman Hussein Rafika, popularly known as Comrade Rafika. Mine is question, sir. Sir, what's the opportunities or platform do you recommend for young professionals to connect? Secondly, sir, can you share a unique experience or achievements that shape your professional journey, sir? Thank you.
Repeat the first question, please.
Sir, what is the opportunities or platform? Can recommend platforms or opportunities that recommend for young professionals to connect? Thank you, sir.
Okay, I will advise firstly to prioritize our local platforms when it comes to mentorship, because mentorship is key. If you have a mentor, he will inshallah guide you to minimize your mistakes in life. When you don't have a mentor, you make so many mistakes. You will continue to struggle through trial and error. But when you have a mentor, he will help you to avoid more than 90% of your mistakes in life. I will recommend, most of the platforms I will recommend, definitely they are indigenous and local platforms. I recommend the activities and the content being delivered by Ahmed Adamu, my younger brother here. Another younger brother of ours, Dr. Sani Yakubu Udil, an academic with the King Fahd University of Petroleum and Minerals in Riyadh. He has Arewa mentorship platform. It's a very effective mentorship platform for career development. If you search, they organize monthly mentorship program where young Nigerians are encouraged to enroll on that platform and learn more. And I appeared on the platform once for over 2 hours in order to mentor our younger ones. These are at least 2 examples of the platforms that I know their content, and I'm very comfortable with the content they deliver to our younger ones. In addition, we are still working on coming up with another platform in Nigeria that will provide this content and mentorship with our younger ones, where we will, inshallah, link our younger ones with global career opportunities, either in academia or in the private sector globally. We have many of them available. Most of our youth are not aware. So we will guide them, inshallah, build their capacity, upskill themselves, or cross-skill themselves, or reskill themselves, and inshallah, get one of the opportunities so that they can serve humanity better.
All right, let's take the next one. But there's one most important platform you must follow is Professor Isa's platforms. Pantami's platform, you must follow that one too. All right, spiritually and all-wise, you'll be well guided. Dr. Mustafa Shehu.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Hayakallah, Sheikh. My name is Mustafa Shehu. I am the State Project Coordinator for Adolescent Girls Initiative for Learning and Empowerment, and the founder of Ideas and Data Global Academy. Sheikh, actually I testified because February last year, Don Cabell mentioned your name when I was opportune to be part of the leading change at the London Business School. He saw me listening to your live preaching on Friday through the channel you are using, and he asked me, do you know Pantami? I said yes. He said, He's one of the best participants we ever had at the London Business School.
Thank you.
I testify to this, sir.
I am honored.
Thank you very much, sir. Sir, you mentioned something in your speech.
Yeah.
And you said you moved from 39 million to 100 million entries in the NIMSI. And I read in one of your Twitter posts somewhere earlier this year that during your stewardship, you were able to ensure that each and every SIM card can be tracked wherever it is for whatever purpose it is being used. Are you happy to tell us why we are in a situation where people are kidnapped? The same SIM card are being used, but it is not being tracked as adequately as possible. But if you make a mistake, of insulting a politician with the same SIM card in less than 24 hours, you will be facing a challenge. Thank you very much, sir.
Brother Mustafa, thank you for conveying the message to me. And secondly, for throwing a challenging question to me as well. As I earlier mentioned in my presentation about communication skills, today, in and outside office, we are stakeholders in Nigeria. And it is our collective responsibility to support people in government to make Nigeria a better place for all. That is why we are here in Katsina to support the governor, our friend and colleague in academia, and in different states we go in order to support them, because the project is for all of us. Furthermore, I'm not interested in becoming a critic. I am more interested in becoming a problem solver or a solution provider. That is why whenever I comment, I only comment as a problem solver or a solution provider for those that are willing to solve the problem to use it. Yeah, I mentioned that we achieved over 100 million citizens in our national database through national identity, which is a major achievement. And if you look at the NIMSI Act Section 26, it is clearly mentioned that obtaining the national identity is obligatory for each and every citizen, whether it will support security or not. And it's important, it's not restricted to only security. For education, for health, for whatever we do as a country, we need national database and national identity. However, my priority when I launched that was to support our security institutions, because in our constitution, security and welfare are the two most essential responsibilities of government, as in our Constitution of Nigeria, 1999, as amended Section 14, subsection 2, Article B. The security and welfare of the citizens is the primary purpose of government. So we introduced that in order to support our security institutions, even though that was not among the priorities given to me. I was given 8 priorities, but I personally pushed myself to increase the enrollment and come up with NIN and SIM national policy purposely to support our security institutions. Secondly, we sanitized the database. Up to the time we left office, based on the available record presented to me, there was no single SIM on our national platform without being linked to national identity. No single SIM in Nigeria at that time. It was after we left, the database, based on what I had, was compromised. And there was a new deadline for linking NIN and SIM. But when we left office, there was no single NIN with SIM without linking to database of national identity, none. But sometimes when there is a change of government, people use the opportunity to compromise. That is what brought about the new date. Not because it was inherited, but it was compromised when we left. Furthermore, the reason why we insisted while in office is the fact that if your NIN is linked to a sink, It will guide us to know your identity in person. However, criminals, when they kidnap an innocent citizen, they use his telephone number to make phone calls and negotiate for ransom. In that regard, the identity will not be useful because the identity of the kidnap is the one that will appear in the database. However, with the new modern gadgets and facilities we deployed in 2022, and even some in early 2023, there is no single phone call in Nigeria that will come through our telecommunication network without tracing the location of the caller. Even if his identity is not known, because he is using the SIM of the kidnap, definitely his location is known. If I make a phone call using Ahmed Adamu's phone from here, the database will definitely indicate that the SIM is for him. Even if he's not the one making the call is coming from an area that could not be more than 20 square meters. In some situations, not more than 50 square meters. So even if it is a phone call, you will be able to narrow the location to not more than 2 or 3 houses within the neighborhood. And if there is a searching, you will be able to trace who is making the call. Even if it's the kidnapper, you will be able to intercept him. But unfortunately, I don't know. Wallahi al-Azim, I admire the effort of our security institutions, particularly the intelligence institutions like DSS and NIA. I commend their effort because they usually intercept intelligence. But intercepting intelligence is one thing. Acting on it is another thing. Most of the setbacks we are having is not about intelligence gathering. It is about utilizing the intelligence to take action. Furthermore, based on experience, with what I did in NIMS of increasing salary, let me give you an example. Government is spending huge amount of money in security. Unfortunately, insignificant percentage is the one that is reaching our security officers that are in the battlefield. More than 90% is on top. Very insignificant is reaching them. You ask a soldier to go and fight kidnappers or terrorists. If he dies today, his entire death benefit is less than 10 million naira. And he has 10 children at home. Who can sacrifice his life for 10 million naira? Wallahi, in some situations, they are getting less than 2 million naira as the death benefit. No any diya, no any compensation. If he dies, nobody will take care of his family. The system is not effective to take care of his family. Who is willing to go and sacrifice his life while his children will also be out of school because of that sacrifice? We must work on the system to the extent that whatever is budgeted will reach the people in the battlefield. If they die in the battlefield, the system must take care of their children from where they are until they graduate from university. If they are into business until they are successful, as long as our system will not take care of the families of those sacrificing their lives to protect our country, then definitely we will continue to have many setbacks in our security architecture. And there is no doubt about this. Whatever is budgeted, there must be a close supervision that it will come down to the people in the battlefield. And they should be the highest earner. Yes. They should be the highest earners in Nigeria. Exactly. People that are putting their lives in the line.
Front lines.
In the front line, they should be the highest when it comes to, if not salary allowances. If you are in Zampara or Sokoto or in Katsina in the battlefield or in Borno in the battlefield, at least on a daily basis, you should be given a DTA per day as an allowance. If you are DTA when you travel, if it's 50,000, you should be earning 50,000 after every 24 hours, in addition to your salary and your statutory allowances. And when you die, the system must take care of your family, all your family members. With this, millions will sacrifice their lives for Nigeria. As long as the system fails to take care of their family, definitely less than 1% can persevere to sacrifice their life for the country.
Yeah, I think this is a very important area, security, especially in Katsina State. But how do you balance if you are giving them more money for being on the security front lines, crisis areas, but they want that insecurity perpetuate, so they keep collecting that more salary, more allowances?
The issue, you cannot partake in any conventional war without timeline. We can say the entire insecurity in the Northwest must be addressed within 90 days. Any officer who fails to achieve it should ceremoniously resign and allow someone to come and take over. That is the reality. If you cannot deliver within time frame, clear the screen, allow somebody to come and take it. Why we see in the developed countries, when there is one security compromise, they will resign, somebody will come. We have to promote. You have 90 days. Either you deliver or you clear the screen. We should not leave it open. And furthermore, if we want to, when we address the security challenges, when the situation is calm, the stability is established, then the next one we will provide more support in proactive measures rather than reactive measures. Yes. Proactive measures that will allow stability to be sustained, not fire brigade approach where you react. No, we should be proactive, so that the stability will be enhanced and will also be maintained and sustained. And this is very important.
All right. Thank you so much, sir. We've finished the first batch of the 5. Let's move to the... Okay, one more. Okay, so the number 5, the first...
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Okay. So, my name is Hafsat Muhammad.
Move it closer to your mouth.
My name is Hafsat Muhammad.
Hafsa?
Hafsa.
Okay.
Muhammad.
Thank you, my daughter.
Thank you, sir. So, I'm currently a student. Now, I'm studying in Federal University do summer from the Department of Radiography. Radiography.
Radiography.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, my question here is, how can we develop a strong personal brand? How can we develop a strong personal brand among people, like, or a strong relationship, like trust?
Brand of what? What do you want to manufacture or you want to develop?
What I want to develop, like.
You want to develop something?
Yes, like.
Okay, thank you, my daughter Hafsa. If you want to build a very strong personal brand, whether in technology or any other area, or you establish a company or an institution, I will give you the following advice. Number 1, get your mission statement right. Your mission statement should be present tense, what you do every day. And it should be very brief and concise. Number 2, get your vision statement right. Your vision statement should be future tense, where you want to be with the company. You do your mission to arrive at your vision. It should also be very specific, very brief and concise in words and comprehensive in meaning. Number 3, establish some core values that cannot be compromised in any situation. Like if it is customer, if it is a product that you want to sell or services you render, your customer should always be your king. And you should make your core value to include what we call customer centricity. You should be customer centric. Whatever you do, your priority should be your customer. Your customer should be served diligently and effectively. And also you should include long-term thinking. Long-term thinking is key. When you are successful today in your brand, Tomorrow you could be challenged by other brands. So you should partake in long-term thinking where you think on behalf of your customers, you provide what they need and what they want before they realize that they need it or they want it. You provide for them. These are some of the initiatives. Number 4 as well, at the initial stage of your brand, making profit should not be your priority. You can hardly achieve a strong global brand with an intention of making profit at the initial stage. When the brand is accepted, profit will come automatically. So profit should not be the priority. Your primary aim is your brand. Secondary aim is profit. When the brand name is achieved, then the profit will come automatically. Most importantly, your core values should not be compromised in any situation. When that is done, your brand is going to be global. The same with the global brands we have today, that we are so much addicted to them.
All right. Thank you so much. So let's go to the second cluster, the last part of the row. So many hands. I can see Kwidi, founder. That's number 1. And the one that's down there with the in blue, 2. Yes, you've been persistent. The one in, what color is that? Milk color? Yes, you. That's number 3. Yes, the one in red, that's number 4. You're confusing me. So you've been persistent. So, okay, is that chicken gida? So, Zaku ain't tambaya mada hausafa. Nakamata mpada tindazu. So, Mukhtar, zo this way. Kafara ba number 1. So I've given you the number 5. You in with the cap, Mehula. Isauri. Akwai abinci za a kawo, it's already here, so kowa ya jira da Allah za a ci abinci at the end. No, number 1. She's number 1. Yeah.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Amina Zayyana. I'm the founder of Katsina Innovate Development Initiative, an initiative where we stimulate entrepreneurship and leadership skills in women in Katsina State. My question is, these days, it's more about, business as it is, or creating a brand. The most important aspect there is marketing. And then, what is the implication of this marketing that we do on social media as a Muslim woman? What is its implication? Is it okay to come out and show your face? Is it okay to do voiceover and all those things? That's my question.
Let me say my mother, you bear the name of my late mother. May Allah bless her and be merciful to her. I have tremendous respect to any female who shares the name of my mother. Based on my upbringing, I hardly mention the name except when it becomes necessary. Anyone bearing that name is my mother. Even among my children, my daughter bearing the same name, her name at home is Mamana. Any person bearing the name of my father is Babana. That is our upbringing. So, my mother, this question requires at least an hour for me to speak on. Due to the tremendous respect I have for you, I will answer briefly and also allow you to liaise with Associate Professor Ahmed Adamu so that I can give you an avenue for more engagement and guidance, inshallah, on how to be successful, particularly because of that name you bear. It's because of the name. People bearing the names of our mothers and fathers are not treated equally, including those bearing the name of our teachers, particularly the teachers who taught us the glorious Quran. Any person bearing that name is in a class of his own. Please bear with me if you don't share the same name.
Anyone want to change their names?
But
you don't change your name.
but we respect human beings in general. But they have specific and special recognition when it comes to interaction with them. Digital marketing is key, as you earlier mentioned. And this is one of the reasons why MIT is very successful as an institution. Massachusetts Institute of Technology in the US. Their global GDP, the serial entrepreneurs of MIT, in 2016, the collective GDP of their serial entrepreneurs was more than the GDP of India as a country, with a population of 1.3 billion people then. Almost 2 trillion US dollars. And one of the most effective strategies they deploy is digital innovation and digital entrepreneurship. In their digital innovation entrepreneurship is all about online marketing, what they call innovation-driven enterprises, IDE. So I strongly agree with you that digital marketing or online marketing gives you that global visibility. It allows you to have global visibility. Whatever you share online can be seen, can be patronized from any part of the world. Particularly today, we have so many ways of shipping what you purchase from one part of the world to the other. Amazon is an example here in Nigeria. Konga, Jumia are good examples of online marketing. In addition, when it comes to that one, firstly, to protect yourself, even if it is allowed, it is not necessary that the entrepreneur is the marketer. You can appoint a marketer. That marketer can be a male that you feel is comfortable to do it for you, because it's not necessary that you should be the one marketing your product. You can employ someone to do it for you. It is an avenue. When it comes to your voice, as long as you speak morally, there is no problem with that. As long as it is your voice, what is important is to speak decently and morally. When your voice is heard, there is no problem. There are so many instances where women used to speak, and Prophet used to listen and reply to their questions effectively. There are so many examples. I am not here for preaching, but just to mentor you. Also, there is an application under artificial intelligence, which is a good example, because artificial intelligence is a branch of computer science that is able to emulate the cognitive functions of human beings. So AI today is being deployed to do online marketing or digital marketing. And there are so many applications of AI online. Some of them are even for free. You can use them and come up with your advertisement. And this will go a long way in making you more successful, sometimes without unnecessarily exposing yourself where you feel uncomfortable.
All right, thank you, sir. Okay, number 2. Why is the microphone? Mukhtar, give it to number 2 there, the one you gave the microphone at the first place. Could those guys with the numbers come this direction? So that say them smooth and fast. Go ahead.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Bilkis Yusuf Salah.
Push it close to your mouth.
My name is Bilkis Yusuf Salah. I'm into online business of fabrics and palm oil. So my question here is, I'm interested in cryptocurrency. Please, what advice can you offer for me? I'm interested in cryptocurrency trading. Please, what advice can you offer? Thank you.
What are the?
She's interested in cryptocurrency trading. What advice could you give her?
My sister Bilkis, I have some presentations online on cryptocurrency. Some of them in English, some of them in Hausa. I will advise you to listen to them. You will find sufficient guidance about cryptocurrency business. Furthermore, what I will also advise you in addition to that, all these technologies are at the emerging stage of their development. That is why we call them emerging technologies. It is now that they are emerging. Are you following? They are emerging. Because of this, they will continue to change. And cryptocurrency is just an aspect of blockchain technology. It's only one aspect of blockchain technology. So because of this, when something is at the initial stage of emerging, it is important that one should be extra careful not to unnecessarily take risks that will destroy the whole business. You can partake in it, you can do it, but wisely. Don't commit your entire investment into it because it is at the initial stage. Sometimes you can make profit beyond expectation, and sometimes you can lose the significant part of your investment. What is important, be extra careful and be strategic until these emerging technologies become well established. In addition to the online lectures that I earlier presented, that is good for you to listen.
All right, thank you, sir. And let's take number 3. Yeah, Kiecheta Ukuba. Yes.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
My name is Halimot Abdulaziz Rafindadi, and I'm a lecturer at Federal University Dusama. My question here is, I want to ask on behalf of my gender. There are a lot of women and young ladies that I knew, like around the world, that all have the goals and the zeal, like they all have dreams that they want to achieve. But due to some cultural and selfish belief by the communities, most of the women just are left behind. So my question here is, what tips would you have for us as women that we can follow, that can make us successful and then give us more courage to achieve what we want to achieve? Thank you.
Sister Halima, a teacher like my humble self, this is a very important question, particularly to us as parents and husbands. Certain things are part of our culture. Unfortunately, we make them like to be part of our religion. In most cases in northern Nigeria, in so many communities, whenever our sisters try to excel in life, they are being frustrated. And this frustration is given a religious coloration, while in most cases is nothing but culture. Religion, particularly Islam, allows women to excel in life in the way and manner men excel. There is no doubt about this. If you read the biography of companions, both men and female, you will discover that they excelled in their endeavor. But today, if our daughters try to do that, instead of encouraging them and giving them all the necessary support, they will end on being discouraged. Firstly, we need to change that culture. And we need to spread religion from our culture. Furthermore, my also advice to our sisters, try to know how to manage your parents effectively, even if they don't have that exposure. If you are very obedient to your mother and father, you are committed to your education or any business you partake in, and you are also upright when it comes to your interaction with others, even if your parents disagree with you, you can easily convince them to follow and support you to achieve your aims and your vision. But if you are not obedient to them, or you are not upright morally, then in most cases they will be suspicious about your activities, and they will be more interested in getting you married rather than to pursue your career. So the way and manner we interact with our parents and the way they know our uprightness will play a significant role in getting their support and in convincing them to allow us to pursue our career. In addition, compatibility in marriage is also key. Before you get married, try to get someone that is compatible with you. Compatibility is key. That is why even if you look at the Quran like Nisa verse 2 and 3, you will clearly see that compatibility is mentioned. Or the hadith reported in Irwa'ul Ghalil, hadith number 1, Tazawwaju al-wadud al-waluda, is all about compatibility. Even before you get married, get someone that is willing to support you to continue to pursue your dreams. Somebody that is interested in encouraging you. And that compatibility should be something that is natural. If your husband is only interested in politics, nothing more, nothing less, and you are interested in education, nothing more, nothing less, you will discover there is lack of compatibility. But if he is a politician with a strong background in education, and you are into education, not interested in politics, you will live peacefully and he will support you. Even if he is a politician, he is interested in education. Your governor, for example, is a PhD holder and he is into politics. There is no way he will not support education. He gave examples now, an hour ago during his speech. He discovered someone developing software from a humble background. He sent him. He sponsored him to Silicon Valley. Some of our young children, some of our young graduates, even from secondary school, from public school, he sponsored them to China to study artificial intelligence. Why? Because as a politician, he is well grounded in education with degree, MSc and PhD, and he knows the value of education. So that is why compatibility is key. Many sisters make mistakes when it comes to getting married. They will get married to someone that they have no compatibility, and they have been misled with the resources. Apologies to you. The resources he has in his pocket. When she gets married to him, she discovers there is no compatibility. So it is important to get married to someone that there is compatibility. It is better to get married late and right than soon and wrong.
Thank you so much, sir. This is another topic, I'm sure, for another day. Let's go to number 4. Who is number 4? The right man, right? Yes.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. My name is Zainul Abidin Abdulaziz, popularly known as Mr. Zain. I'm a founder of a startup and at the same time a content creator. My question is that, sir, looking at your exploration around the world, what is the common qualities of a successful startup founder that you have seen around, and what can you talk about it for us? Thank you so much.
Firstly, I also have another lecture, Mentorship for Startup. It's online. I organized the mentorship program for our young startups while I was the DG NIDA in 2018. It is important to listen carefully. In addition to that, Jeffrey Bezos, the founder of Amazon, was asked the same question, how to be successful when it comes to startup. He gave 3 pieces of advice. Number 1, he said, long-term thinking. 2, customer centricity. Number 3, he said, passion for invention. These are the 3 most important ingredients for a successful startup. If I'm to add on that, I will say also perseverance. Perseverance is very important because you will discover that less than 10% of startups makes it. Less than 10%. More than 90% usually they collapse. So you have to persevere the way he himself persevered for 9 consecutive years without making a profit of $1. until clocking the 10th. Then he made first profit. And after 13 years, he became the richest person globally. Without perseverance, there is no way you can attain that feat. In addition, Elon Musk was also asked about how to be successful in the startup community. He mentioned optimism, as I earlier mentioned in my presentation, optimism. In addition to that, he said, big dreams. You should have big ideas, big dreams, and you pursue them. Even if nobody believes in you, you must believe in yourself. And this is another important point. Yeah. Finally, I will recommend a book for you, which has been authored by the pioneer, the emeritus chairman of Cisco by name John Chambers. The book is an important one for anyone working on startup. It has been entitled as Connecting the Dots. Connecting the Dots, authored by John Chambers. It is an important book. You'll discover that he excels in explaining how to be successful in the startup ecosystem. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much. Number 5. Okay, go ahead.
Alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuhu. My name is Ibrahim Muaz Dankama, popularly known as Comrade Ibrahim Dankama. Sir, I'm a student from Sustainable Procurement, Environmental and Social Standard Enhancement Center of Excellence from Ahmadu Bello University, where I'm reading MSc in Sustainable Environmental Studies. So my question is, what role does networking play in career advancement? And how can young professionals effectively build their networks? Thank you. God bless you, man.
Brother Ibrahim, the name of my grandfather, so I will extend the same courtesy, similar to that of my father. It is an important question with regards to the impact of networking on your career. 20 years ago, up to even 15 years ago, networking was very effective when it comes to career development, among others. However, the influence of networking is being reduced recently. Networking sometimes is what our northern brothers or youth call it sometimes as a connection. They try to explain networking, they say connection. Connection doesn't bring itself to you. You need to network with people. So now, network is being challenged. Networking with others is being challenged by what is called building a cordial relationship. Building a cordial relationship is more effective than networking. During networking 20 years ago, we used to travel for conferences, events, only going around collecting business cards. You collected 40, 50, they are there for you. Definitely,